individual private tax returns are used for political purposes.
Keith Urban is country music's king, winning the big ACM Entertainer of the Year award. Thomas Rhett was Male Artist of the Year, and
the ACM Female Artist of the Year goes to Casey Musgraves.
Musgraves also won Album of the Year on the CBS show. Dan and Shay walked away with 3 awards, Duo of the Year and Song and Single of the Year. This is Fox News.
Mostly clear skies to start the morning, but clouds will pick up throughout the day and throughout the week. The long-range forecast has chances of rain and thunder showers through the early part of the week, and then a major cool down as we head toward the end of this week, with temperatures only topping out by Friday at about 42 degrees. And currently in Chicago, we have 40 degrees at 5:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Weather will be in pretty good shape for today's home opener for the Cubs. Facing the Pirates at Wrigley, John Lester will throw against Jamison Talion for the Pirates. In other news we're following this morning, Chicago is coming off a violent weekend. At least 4 were killed and over 24 were injured in shootings since Friday afternoon. Multiple children suffered gunshot wounds. The city is experiencing an increase in violence as the weather begins to warm up. Authorities are searching for a 16-year-old girl who went missing last week on Chicago's South Side. Police say Sarah Dawson was last seen April 3rd in the 1100 block of East 47th Street. She's described as 5'4", 150 pounds, with brown eyes and a medium complexion. In one of her first acts, Mayor-elect Lori Lightfoot wants to slow down the Lincoln Yards development project. This comes as the City Council Finance Committee was moving forward to sign off on 2 new TIF financing districts. The proposed TIFs would open the door to 2 major projects, the $6 billion Lincoln Yards project along the North Branch of the Chicago River and the $7 billion vision for a mixed-use campus known as the 78 between Roosevelt Road and Chinatown. Chicago police are investigating after a man tried to lure a 14-year-old girl into a van last week on the Northwest Side. Chicago police tell us this morning that the teen was waiting at a CTA bus stop in the 4200 block of Kimball Avenue when a white-colored cargo van pulled up with 2 men inside. No one is in custody after a mass shooting over the weekend that wounded 2 children and 4 adults on the South Side. Dennis Tabb witnessed that shooting.
People were standing out and some guys just came around and started shooting indiscriminately.
Victims were shot Saturday night during a baby shower near 63rd and Sealy. 1 man is dead following a 1-vehicle crash on Chicago's West Side. The victim was driving a Jeep Grand Cherokee last night when he lost control and slammed into a pole in the 4600 block of West Roosevelt Road. The man was ejected and pronounced dead at the scene. Illinois raising the age for people to legally buy tobacco. Governor J.B. Pritzker signed that measure into law yesterday. It raises the minimum age for tobacco and e-cigarette purchases from 18 to 21. R. Kelly finding ways to make money as he awaits a Chicago trial on aggravated sexual abuse charges.
Yo, this your boy Kels, and I got an event to do tonight in Springfield, Illinois. So I want the media to take it easy on me, man. This is how I got to get paid now for right now.
R&B singer made a paid appearance at what's being called the Dirty South Lounge in Springfield. Kelly chatted, danced, smoked cigars, and sang at that event. Chicago priest who was investigated for sexual misconduct against a minor is back at his Northwest Side parish after being cleared of any wrongdoing. Cardinal Blaise Supich announcing over the weekend he's reinstated Father Gary Graff. 2 are dead after a fiery crash in Chicago Heights. Police continue to investigate why that vehicle was traveling at a high rate of speed Saturday night when it lost control, hit 2 light poles, and then a concrete sign base before bursting into flames. Authorities investigating the cause of a fire that killed a woman over the weekend in Griffith, Indiana. It happened Saturday at the Crestview apartment homes. Deborah Whitted died at a nearby hospital after being rescued from that fire. Father of a missing Aurora boy, describing the pain felt by a recent hoax. James Pitson says he believes his son is still alive.
As soon as you give up hope, then what should I do? What, declare him dead? I mean, no, I'm not going to do that. I mean, I'll be around for 30, 40 more years, and eventually he'll find me, or eventually he'll come up somewhere.
Pitson, the father of missing boy Timothy Pitson, says the moment he found out a man claiming to be his missing son made up the whole story. It was tearing off the scab of the incident all over again, and now he needs to wait for that scab to heal. Chicago sports, Christian Yelich smacked a 2-run home run and drove in 3. Brewers double up the Cubs, 4-2 in Milwaukee. Daniel Vogelbach homered twice and drove in 6. Mariners beat the White Sox 12-5 at guaranteed rate. Tim Anderson did have 4 hits for the Sox, adding his 3rd home run of the young season.
You know, he's finding his timing. I mean, he's seeing the ball very, very well, obviously. Doing a lot of things well.
Skipper Ricky Renteria, Sox host the Rays later today. The news, a service of La Quinta by Wyndham. La Quinta by Wyndham, now part of the Wyndham Rewards. Earn and redeem Wyndham Rewards points for free nights at La Quinta. Thousands of other Wyndham Rewards properties worldwide. Book direct at lq.com. 5:08, check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager says it's all about your moral compass.
They hate Trump so they can lie. That is the way in which their moral compass functions. I can lie because I am a leftist and I have higher principles than truth. Getting rid of a president I don't like is a higher principle than telling anything true. That is their view. They believe what I have just said.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Message and data rates may apply.
Ladies and gentlemen, this may be the last time you ever have to worry about hair loss. Because Bosley is the real deal. They're giving women and men their hair back permanently. Their real hair. All it takes to get started is a single text message. You'll get an absolutely free information kit and a free gift card when you text TRUST to 85850. Bosley will show you, for free, how great your hair could look. You'll also see, for free, why you're losing hair and how to get it back. Women and men all over the country trust Bosley because they're America's #1 hair restoration expert, ahead of the curve with the latest technology. And the best part? Bosley has permanent solutions to hair loss. You'll love what they'll do for your hair. So drop what you're doing long enough to send a text. Get your free information kit and gift card for $250 off by texting TRUST to 85850. Don't forget, that's TRUST to 85850.
Hey, my friend's retail store was the victim of IoT password theft.
Yep. Cybercriminals are taking over security cameras, payment systems, and other IoT devices by exploiting vulnerabilities.
What if they target us and our dispersed network?
We're secured with Barracuda. We have advanced firewalls for our sites, enhanced security for our cloud infrastructure, and total email protection.
Such a relief.
Protect your business at Barracuda.com. Barracuda, your journey secured.
Ever wonder why Europeans speak so many languages? Maybe it's because they use Babbel, the #1 selling language learning app in Europe. Babbel's 10 to 15-minute lessons and award-winning technology can have you speaking Spanish, French, or German within weeks.
I always thought I was bad at languages, but after using Babbel, I can tell you I was just taught the wrong way.
Now, try Babbel free. Go to Babbel.com or download the app. That's Babbel, Babbel.com, or download the app to try for free.
Your favorite chicken strips just got a sweet BFF. Introducing the new DQ Chicken and Waffles Basket, a next-level combo of chicken strips, Belgian waffle fries, and syrup. Only at your DQ. Happy tastes good.
5:10, check on the roads this early morning. AM 560 Traffic Center, here is Jim Talamonte.
The outbound Eisenhower has delays from Cicero to Laramie. There's a crash. 3 left lanes are blocked there. Looking at about a 3 or 4 minute delay on the outbound Ike. Inbound traffic moving pretty well. Eden's looking good. Some overnight work on the Kennedy is wrapping up. Right now it's 20 minutes either way. Heron downtown. Stevenson is fine. Ryan as well. After some overnight work just cleared. Traffic was a little bit congested at points on the Ryan, but now things are looking good I-57 Bishop Ford just fine. Not seeing any tollway delays, problems at this time. Road work is underway on the Indiana Toll Road, Lake County. There's some new lane configurations. It's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center and our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
Today warm, more clouds than sun with a high 72. It'll be partly cloudy tonight, low 46. Breezy tomorrow, intervals of clouds and sun, the high 62. Rain and breezy cooler on Wednesday, high only 42. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
56 at O'Hare, 57 along the lakefront. Your next news update is at 5:30, and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Ding, 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 ding. And now it's time for Ruthie Wolf and Sean Thompson and for Dan and Amy. But, gentlemen, I think it's time to take a commercial break right here.
Oh, enough with the commercials.
I mean, look at this. I want to complain just at the beginning.
You know why?
It's 5:13 in the morning.
They're used to Dan and Amy.
Aren't we supposed to be on at like 5? We have to take a break according to the clock. Did you see they got a big clock on the wall? I'm only here every few months or so. There's a new thing, a clock on the wall.
Of course, I know
beautiful.
that.
Well, I don't know. I'm never
regular
here.
Show.
Hey, let's switch seats here.
No,
why
kid,
am I in the driver's seat?
You tell me. You want to pretend to be the boy. That's why. Everyone knows you're the girl.
All right, enough complaining about it. I'm just so grateful to be on the air here. Get a chance. A has-been like myself getting to be on the air.
No, you're not a
albeit a Chicago TV and radio legend. So what do you want to talk about politically? People are tuning in. They want to hear us bash some of them politicians.
First
so let's
of all,
go.
I was on my way here. I don't really think people are listening this early. I see all the trucks, they're sleeping, waiting for the load to be taken out of, and I saw heavenly bodies exiting, strippers and drunks.
Is that still open?
Yeah.
Gentlemen, tired of the cold sholdder? Yeah. Heavenly bodies.
There you go.
Does your route from your home take you
might.
Down Manheim Road?
I've been married a long time, but there was
you don't
a time.
have to explain anything to me.
Where I had a reserved parking spot by the door. Yeah, but I like to take a look by every once in a while. You never know.
I didn't know that Heavenly Bodies still existed because, they used to advertise on the Score all the time. And then the Score upgraded itself to,
it did.
Car dealers.
Yeah, right.
But on Manheim Road, sure, they were still on Manheim Road. But what do you want to yell about here, Sean?
Well, there's a couple of things I'd like to discuss.
Sure.
But I
want to get these out of the way at 5:20 because then it's all going to be about the Cub opener after that.
Yeah, let's clear that up. Because if you're going to talk about anybody above the age of 9 in costumes hitting a little ball, let's get it out of the way now. Well, no one's really paying
Cubs
attention.
Cubs are 2-7 on their road trip. They're the short-suffering Cub fans who haven't won a World Series since 2016 are very upset. All right, what do you want to talk about?
I'm disgusted about the Cubs. If we can talk about it, I can't.
Care? Look, let's face it. You're not a fraud. You don't even know who's on the team.
Not a clue.
Exactly.
But I will say this.
Okay.
I do know the little squirrely guy that owns it that bashed his father.
Ricketts. Yeah.
Rick, the guy who, a poor man's version of Ted Cruz. Ricketts.
Yeah.
You have the audacity.
You know what really bugged me about the Cubs when they bent over backwards to appease the Muslim community? They invited CAIR, C-A-I-R, the Council on American and Islamic Relations, whatever. They're sympathizers with terrorists. So they bent over backwards and they brought in CAIR to appease them. I mean, they're probably going to have Representative Omar throw out the first pitch today. And trust me, if she's better than Carl Edwards Jr., put her in the 6th inning.
Well, that's a particular. What I'm more upset about is you have the audacity to insult your father. Because if it wasn't for your father, what would Ted Ricketts be doing? He'd be selling me insurance at a kiosk in Woodfield. You owe everything you are to your old man. You did nothing in life.
Trust fund
He
babies.
gave you the money to live.
Buy a baseball team.
And you're going to bash this guy?
Yeah.
So from that point forward, I hope they're the worst ever, that they lose every game.
This is the curse. This is a curse. Forget the Billy Goat curse now. This is the curse of American pluralism on the Chicago Cubs who appease the race baiting, horrible people. Poor Mr. Ricketts. He was just trying to have a little joke among friends. Probably laughed at the email to appease the guy who was writing to him. It doesn't really feel that way.
Never go against the family. Never go against the family.
Hey, you listen to AM 560, The Answer. You will hear the elder Ricketts being defended.
Absolutely.
Nowhere else.
Absolutely, he'll be defended. And the idea that these kids walk around proud of themselves, you're nothing without the old man's money.
Zip.
Nothing.
Absolutely
so,
nothing.
You could say, well, listen, he's a little older. He doesn't have. You do what Joe Biden does. Look at this scumbag's running for president. He doesn't have the buffer. His filter is a little
Did
tethered.
you hear the worst thing about Biden? It's worse than any of this touchy-feely stuff.
Yeah, with the line about the truck driver that killed his wife.
Wow, you're really up on stuff. I thought I was going to...
Come on, you're not going to outsmart me with your fancy education and your reading
exactly
glasses.
Tell us the story.
Like Schumer with hair.
Tell
Don't
us the
fool me.
Tell us the story. It's amazing. Tell us what happened. What did he do?
His wife was tragically killed in an accident.
He was 29 years old at the time.
Were you going to let me tell it, or are you going to interrupt?
I'm just trying to fill,
Wait for me to stop talking.
I just wanted to do the annotated version of Sean. Go ahead. Yeah.
So tragically, this is back in the early 70s.
Right.
That's when I was a kid. My mother's seatbelt, baby seat, forget about it. I sat on the armrest next to her. You know what I mean? And it was his wife and her, I think, three kids were in the car.
Right.
The two boys were hurt.
Yes.
And it was her fault. Did you
it
see
was at
after
least
the investigation?
Not the other guy's
Correct.
fault. It was probably her fault.
And she was hit by a truck, tragically, in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
There was a massive investigation of which the truck driver was exonerated. He was found not guilty of anything
But he
wrong.
went to his death still feeling bad about it. He felt bad about it.
Lived tortured his whole life.
Yes, even though he wasn't at fault.
And here's the sneaky part.
Yeah.
That only a politician scumbag like
Total
Biden could
scumbag Joe Biden.
He waited,
the worst of the worst.
He waited for him to die before he slandered him and accused him. Did you see that?
I didn't know that the guy died in 1999.
And
I didn't realize that after that. Because you can't libel the dead illegally.
And it was in 2000 that Joe Biden gave an innuendo that he had drank his lunch, that he was drunk at the time of the accident.
Which is totally untrue.
Absolutely.
He actually, my understanding of it is that somebody started circulating this, and Biden didn't try to deny it, and he kind of went with the story because it was politically convenient for him to do that, and he actually did that. And you can't, when they have the debates between Trump and Biden, I can't wait for it. Because Biden will say, Donald, you lied about this and you lied about this. And then, all Trump has to say, Joe, you lied about the worst thing in the world. You libeled a man. It was terrible that your wife died in that accident. But you know what? It was her fault. And you libeled that man who went to his grave feeling bad nonetheless.
And you know what's...
And you know how the American people are going to turn on Joe Biden when he does that? He's cooked because of that, not because of his touchy-feely stuff.
Well, it shows you another side of what it takes, that there are absolutely no ramifications for being a bald-faced liar in politics. In fact, you get rewarded.
Well, they live
Joe
in a bubble.
Biden, after 2000, look at his career, after he slandered this man.
Right.
He was a skyrocket. That's when he really had the bulk of his career success after 2000.
Right. And because they live in this bubble, because these politicians live in this bubble, he doesn't realize how out of touch he is, pun intended, when he touches these, because it's not sexual. It's this paternalism. I'm the big government savior. I'm going to help you because you need me. No, we don't need you, you fungible cretin. We don't need Joe Biden. We don't need these politicians running our lives. But I'm going to lay hands on you and Eskimo kiss you.
Well,
that's the creepiness of him.
First of all, nobody ever punched him in the face. You kidding me? I don't even get along with my wife half the time. You start smelling her hair and rubbing her, I'm knocking you out. And that's the problem with it. So they're void from reality. And here's the other thing.
I would have taken, how tall is Biden? How big is he?
It doesn't matter. I love knocking out.
Well, you're good at that. I'm not, I would take a 38 out. Kneecap him.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. It shows you another.
And by the way, I'm not saying that you should do that.
Yeah, you managed to get yourself in trouble and trying to get yourself out. But here's the thing: it is sexual. It absolutely unequivocally
because
is.
Sex is power.
Everything
is
sexual. Baby.
Everything
Come
is
on.
sex.
You know what I mean? So to pretend it isn't sexual is giving a pass to a guy who doesn't deserve it.
Right.
In my mind, he loves rubbing the women.
Look at the feminists who are apologizing for him. like these Kirsten whatever used to be on Fox. She's on CNN now.
Yeah.
Kirsten Powers.
Yeah.
Kristen Powers.
She's the pretend conservative. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yes. No. He's they'll apologize for him. That's what hypocrites.
Because they're watching themselves be hoisted by their own petard.
Totally.
And they don't like it.
He was the worst. Biden was the absolute worst. He was the point man on Obama's plan to make every kid who ever got drunk with a 21-year-old girl in college, give them no due process. Oh, we're going to believe the woman all the time. You're out of college. Your life is smeared. Like that truck drivers was. And Biden was the point man on that, and now he is being hoisted by his own petard.
Exactly. Yeah. What's funny is I've actually had blowback over the last couple of years.
Careful on the words.
I have a habit of saying honey. When I don't, and here's the reason. Let me confess. It's because I don't pay attention when you say your name unless I think you're important. I don't know your name. So in order to get your attention, once in a while, I'll throw out a honey.
Totally. All right. I'm having trouble with my cursor here. I want to get to. Oh, here we go. Ed.
Hello.
Hi, Ed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi. You guys switched from the Cubs to Biden, which just irritates me the most. Not only because he's a fraud about it, he's a coward. Hillary told him to step down, and he did. And then his son makes billions of dollars off of me, some kind of deal he made with Ukraine.
Oh, yeah, that's going to come out, too. Go ahead.
That Theo Epstein, he writes some kind of article, I read it in Yahoo, that he takes full responsibility. And I always hear people say, yeah, I take full responsibility.
But not the blame, said Nixon.
Is he going to die? Is he going to fall on his sword? Is he going to resign? Is he going to go to another team? What does that mean? Is he going to sell hot dogs at a lower rate? What does that mean?
It means nothing because Theo's been a liar since he said that Chris Bryant was kept down for seasoning. Everybody knew that they just wanted that extra year before Bryant entered free agency. And he lied about it. And saps like Mark Giangreco said, oh, Theo, I'll listen to whatever you say and not challenge you at all. Thanks so much, Ed. Appreciate it. Happy Monday. Oh, we got to take a break, and I think we're back up on commercials.
No more Theo Epstein talk? Jeez.
I think we'll be back at like 6 o'clock or something. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM 560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
What is certainty? Certainty is the passionate commitment to fulfill every promise. Certainty is 4imprint, a caring, trusted team of promotional product experts, minding every detail to ensure your logo will look perfect on everything from apparel, drinkware to trade show traffic stoppers, and hot tech, all delivered on time, every time, with the promise of your satisfaction guaranteed. So, what does certainty bring? Promotional items exceeding expectations, a buzz of excitement for your team and your customers, a pep in your step, a fist pump, a whoop, a tingle, a grin, a laugh, or even one quiet word that no one will ever hear. Yes! Explore thousands of promotional products at 4imprint.com. That's the number 4imprint.com. 4imprint, for certain.
Hey, it's tax season again, and the April 15th deadline is right around the corner. If you haven't filed your tax returns the past few years, what are you doing, a Harold Washington impersonation? Or for several years, or maybe you're just in debt to the IRS and don't know what to do or who to turn to, I want you to write down this number and name and save it in your phone. Attorney Stephen Leahy. Leahy, 312-664-6649. Stephen will help you. Stephen's a friend of Amy's and the shows, and I think I know him too. He's a friend of AM 560, host of the IRS Radio Hour, heard every Sunday afternoon at 5. You can trust Attorney Leahy to help solve your IRS problems. He's local, right here in Chicago, available to meet with you one-on-one. If you fear the IRS will take your money, bank account, wages, visit you at your home or job, and now they can even take your passport. You need to talk to the trusted attorney of AM 560, Attorney Stephen Leahy. Call 312-664-6649. Attorney Leahy will solve your IRS problems for good. Call 312-664-6649 or visit chicagotaxteam.com. chicagotaxteam.com.
It was a brutally cold, harsh winter. Pothole season is bad. Guess what? Your commercial building parking lot took a beating too. Take care of it now to prevent further damage. Time to get a great parking lot. Great Parking Lots, a local company with decades of great parking lots for Chicagoland. Get a quote.
This is Kevin Berquist. My company is SKC Construction, home of GreatParkingLots.com. Great Parking Lots. The name says it all. We make your parking lot great.
Commercial parking lot seal coating and maintenance. Get a great parking lot. They use a special process that not only works well, but lasts longer. It's a great investment for your business or for your commercial building to have a great parking lot. It's the first impression for everyone in the building and people visiting the building. And you can do business with a company that shares your values.
I guarantee you'll have a good experience. Check it out. GreatParkingLots.com.
GreatParkingLots.com. GreatParkingLots.com.
Springtime is here, and maybe you're starting to get outside more. Maybe you're playing golf or getting all of that springtime yard work done, and maybe you've noticed the next day that you're feeling a little more sore than you used to. Or maybe your energy level has been low. You need to try Balance of Nature. You need your fruits and veggies, and you're not getting them in the fast food drive-thru lane. But you can get them in a single capsule from Balance of Nature. We're talking about 10 servings of 31 fruits and vegetables, all in a single capsule. You hear the testimonials on the air here, and let me tell you, they are all real. Dr. Douglas Howard, the creator of Balance of Nature, has shared the emails and voicemails with Amy and Dan of real people who've gotten healthy with Balance of Nature. And now Amy's taking it too. And here's the deal you want to jump on. And the price of fruits and vegetables, they're about to go up. But if you call or go online right now, you can lock in your price for the fruits and vegetables for an entire year and get free shipping on every order. But you got to use the promo code Chicago when you call 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
AM 560. The Answer.
Man,
you know, when
Bruce
I hear
Wolf
you,
and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy.
I hear you doing Balance of Nature. All I'm thinking about is your Viagra and Geritol. That's what you know, Balance of Nature. You should see yourself. You look terrible.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's been a long time, and I missed the third-hand cigar smoke. First, if you'd actually be smoking. Second would be you'd be smoking, but I'd be in another room. Third hand is I just smell it on your clothes.
First cigar in the morning is the most important cigar in the morning, and I like to start off with a nice Connecticut shade. You don't want to get too strong in the morning.
Well, it's only 5:28 in the morning. When did you smoke your first cigar?
I lit up at my way here around 4:10. If I'm awake, I'm smoking, baby. You understand? Because there's a difference between living and surviving, which leads us, we could talk very quickly about Fat Boy J.B. Pritzker now changing the law to smoke to 21. You know, I got to think.
He just signed that legislation yesterday.
Signed it yesterday.
On a Sunday when nobody was looking.
Do you know what kills more people than tobacco? Obesity. So I got this slob, with love handles on his ears. I would never let myself look like that ever. I worked out this morning before I got here.
Really, with the cigar in your mouth,
and
you're doing the push-ups.
And this guy's going to tell children who can go off to war and get shot in the face.
Right.
They can vote. They're smart enough to do all of these choices.
And the Democrats want them to vote at age 16, but now they can't buy cigarettes until they're 21.
That's how you know.
Does that make sense?
That's how you know you are living in a totalitarian state, where the audacity of these frauds feel they can make minute decisions for you. It is time to break the bands that tie. This is abuse and usurpation.
Is that a cigar band you're talking about?
It should be. Let's get it on a T-shirt. File for a copyright.
When I was a kid, I always wanted to get from my Uncle Harvey the cigar band so I could put it on my, ring finger.
With a name like Harvey, he probably didn't have bands. He was buying them in bulk.
That's my Uncle Harvey. Right. You're libeling and slandering.
Why not?
Don't you come back for the next segment until you apologize to my great Uncle Harvey.
Maybe we get a call.
Oh, yeah. Well, the phone lines are lit. We got 25,000 calls on the line, but you can give us a call on the turnkey.pro answer line at 312-642-5600, 312-642-5600. Call in now and don't win a thing except for the right to talk to Sean and me on AM 560 The Answer. Let's go to the newsroom right now. And Mike.
Morning, everyone. 52 degrees. We're tracking Cubs and Pirates today at Wrigley Field for the home opener. John Lester is opposing Pittsburgh's Jameson Taillon. President Trump confirming Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen is stepping down. Trump tweeting yesterday that the current Customs and Border Protection Commissioner, Kevin McAleen, will take over as acting DHS Secretary. The Trump administration is planning to designate Iran's Revolutionary Guard as a foreign terrorist organization. The move expected to further isolate Iran and the Revolutionary Guard. It comes with sanctions and freezes on assets the guards may have in the U.S. and a ban on Americans doing business with it. Britain's political and economic future is more uncertain than ever before, just days before the deadline for a no-deal Brexit. Parliament hasn't come close to approving a deal for the UK to leave. Prime Minister Theresa May now asking the EU to extend the deadline for Brexit to June 30th. Still going nowhere fast, American Airlines is extending its flight cancellations through early June as the Boeing 737 MAX remains grounded. A California woman and her safari guide kidnapped in Uganda are safe after a rescue. Government officials in Uganda say Kimberly Endicott and her local guide were discovered safe on the border of Uganda and the Congo. No one in custody after a violent weekend in Chicago saw a mass shooting over the weekend that wounded 2 children and 4 adults. Dennis Tabb witnessed that shooting.
People were standing out and some guys just came around and started shooting indiscriminately.
An 8-year-old boy and 10-year-old girl were hospitalized. This morning they remain in stable condition. In one of her first acts, Mayor-elect Lori Lightfoot wants to slow down the Lincoln Yards development project. This comes as the City Council Finance Committee is moving forward to sign off on 2 new TIF districts, one for the Lincoln Yards development, the other for the 78, a $7 billion vision for land between Roosevelt Road and Chinatown. Brewers double up the Cubs 4-2 in Milwaukee ahead of the home opener. Mariners cruise past the White Sox 12-5. 5:33 is our time, and we'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Sean Hannity reacts to the Mueller report.
If the lying, abusively corrupt news media is not held accountable for all of their lies, all of their breathless, hysterical reporting, now we know based on nothing in many cases, they believed what they wanted to believe, and it became a psychotic rage.
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson. Spring is going to be here soon, and it's the perfect time to take notice of any paint issues. Call the professionals at CertaPro Painters right away to take care of your home. Our front porch and back porches were chipping and peeling, just an eyesore. But CertaPro Painters swooped in and made a huge difference. They also painted a majority of our rooms in our house, the quality, service, and attention to detail like no other paint company. You know, spring is the season of change. Time to change your wall color or exterior and transform your home with an updated new look. And if you want some help with colors, they've got you covered with in-home color consultation or online with a color visualizer. Don't put it off. Time to hire CertaPro Painters, your residential and commercial painting expert. Schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
My name is David Hochberg at Team Hochberg. Here's a secret my competitors won't tell you. Every conventional, FHA, VA, rural, and reverse mortgage loan has closing costs. Borrowers can receive a closing cost credit for some or all of the closing costs by securing a higher interest rate on their loan. Over the past 18 years, I've closed thousands of loans. Some borrowers elected to go at the higher rate to receive a closing cost credit, and others elected to pay their closing costs to secure a lower rate. Team Hochberg doesn't play the no closing cost game in our ads. So if you want to work with the no closing cost carnival barkers, call my competitors. If you want to work with an honest local lender who will always look out for your financial best interest, call Team Hochberg now at 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM 560 listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com. Homeside Financial Legal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage License, DMB 6761019, NMLS 1124061.
5:36. Let's get an update on the roads this morning in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
In Schaumburg this morning, there's a crash reported on Higgins Road at Martingale. Hanover Park, traffic signals are out. A very busy intersection, Lake Street and Barrington Roads. Consider an alternate. Likely congestion there. The Edens is fine at this hour. No delays to report on the Kennedy. The reversibles are open inbound. The Eisenhower's okay. There was an outbound crash at Laramie. It's gone. The traffic for now is moving well in both directions on the I. Mount Stevenson, getting a little tight Pulaski to Kedzie. It's a 1 or 2 minute delay. Inbound Ryan at Stop and Go, Canal Port, Burn Circle. 20 minutes, 95th to downtown. Ship Ford, looking at a 2 minute delay from Cottage Grove to the merge. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Warm day ahead. More clouds than sun. High 72. 46 overnight. 62 tomorrow. Officially at O'Hare, 54, 56 along the lakefront. Your next news update is at 6, and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, roasted fresh daily in Batavia, Illinois.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560.
Just want to tell you both good luck. We're all counting on you.
The Answer.
Brucey Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy, who are partying in Mexico.
They're the only ones going there. Everyone else is coming here.
This portion of the Sean and Bruce show is brought to you by Salerno Butter Cookies.
Nice. I dated a Salerno in high school.
Really?
Yeah, she
we
was
didn't have any.
beautiful.
We didn't allow Italians in our high school.
Sure you did. Come on. Where do you think I went when I needed clothes?
We had faux Italians on Mulford Avenue. I went to Niles East and Skokie.
Well, my name is Sean. I'm technically a faux Italian. I'm only half Italian.
There you go. We had, the greasers. They'd wear the black.
Easy
and
now
everything
with
like
the
that.
slander.
They were called the
Biden?
greasers. They were called the greasers.
See me making fun of you.
Some of them had non-Jewish names, but other than that, it was entirely Jewish.
Yeah, they worked for you.
Yeah. It was like going to the yeshiva.
They were called the help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Sean, let's get on our... I know you wanted to badmouth Stephen Moore, and there's a certain rule in broadcasting, is that you got to badmouth a guy like a full day before you have him on the air, and then suck up to him.
I don't. Yeah, I don't do that.
He's on all the time.
That's not my thing. And I like Stephen Moore. You have to understand, I feel betrayed by Stephen.
Well, here's the thing, and people, in case they don't follow the world of finance and the politics as much as we do, because we're paid to do that on occasion, is that Stephen Moore is one of Donald Trump's choices to be on the Fed.
Yeah.
And also Herman Cain. And I got to say,
999.
If Herman Cain is Fed-worthy, then I should get the Nobel Prize for Literature for my tweets. I mean, come on.
Listen, Norman.
Although he was on the regional Fed.
He can do anything he wants. 6-button, double-breasted suit. You kidding me? Goes to a convention.
Like Herman Cain.
Goes to a convention. He's a magnet for the chicks. They throw themselves in his car. Aren't you paying attention?
I love.
Big fan.
Be careful about that.
Big fan.
Be careful about that.
999.
So Stephen Moore. I mean, Dan and I used to talk to him every week when we did the show on WLS.
I bought every one of his books.
And
Did you?
We used to talk to Larry Kudlow as well.
Yeah.
And I got so sick of the patter because it's the same story every single week. Oh, Reagan, there were 500,000 jobs created every month during the Reagan administration. And, now I can't believe that somebody that I know and can talk to can be on the Fed.
Well, how about what he used to...
They can't be accessible to me if they're on the Fed.
He also went from saying audit the Fed. He also went from saying restrain the Fed to now promoting actions of quantitative easing and manipulated interest rates. So to me, he is a saboteur of beliefs he once promoted.
He's a Keynesian, and he's no longer a member of the Austrian school.
Well, exactly.
Now,
That's exactly
who was
correct.
in the Austrian? Franz Liszt. Oh, no, he was the composer.
Hayek.
Oh, I thought it was Dan's dog.
Rothbard.
Okay.
Yeah, it is
Murray Rothbard. Yeah.
Read all of his brilliant guy.
I have not read any of that stuff.
He's Jewish.
I don't even
Get
understand
in.
that.
Come
I don't
on,
even
he's part of
understand
UK.
that.
Really? Phenomenal, and a principled man and a true economist, and arguing against the pitfalls of what we find ourselves in today.
Yeah. All right. So in other words, they've just bought the Trump line, and
it's a dangerous.
And Trump wants to inflate
the currency.
He
wants quantitative easing to the max, and we're eventually going to pay for it. But I got to tell you, it's a winning issue because how do you think? Dan and I were at the Republican convention in 2012. There was this auxiliary scoreboard there, which showed the national debt, going up. At that time, it was only like 20 trillion or whatever. And that's what the Republicans were running on, and running on Mitt Romney.
It was actually 16 trillion.
There you go. So you know that.
Now it's 22.
Right. So that's what Mitt Romney was running on, fiscal responsibility, the Tea Party, all that. And Trump realized that's not a winner. You got to convert 9 million white working class people who voted for President Obama, and that's what he did. So we just kicked the can down the road. That's what Stephen Moore is buying into.
What he realized is that there is no character among so-called conservatives, that they really do not have principles and fundamentals. They just say they do. That they want to believe the noble lie as much as the socialist who cheers for Ocasio-Cortez. It's that they want to be led. They are followers, and they need to be ruled. It is the flaw of man. They want to feel safe.
I really feel bad right now because had you said Fabian socialist, the duck would have dropped down and I would have won $50.
It doesn't.
You bet your life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, listen. You want to know something? And it's true that the bulk of people don't understand that we are basically have choices over management of the same socialist policies. We don't really want the freedom we were told that we got as Americans. We don't understand
freedom is slavery.
Look at what we have in Illinois. I was making fun of J.B. Pritzker, the flawed, terribly
line of the day
incompetent.
Line of the day, by the way, the phrase that pays is love handles on his earlobes.
Right. He's a walking punchline, and you're worried. You're worried about the health of citizens. Seriously, look at you. You're half the men. He is. You're half the man of these 18-year-old kids you say are too stupid to make their own decisions. So my point is, what is the Republican rebuttal to this in Illinois? Nothing. Because this is what the binary choice of the lesser of two evils leads to. Nothing but bad. Now, you can move from Illinois. You can break those political bands that tie us, and you can move. You cannot move from America. You can't. Where are you going to go?
I would like to talk to Tom from Deer Park right now. I don't know how to turn this. There we
Maybe
go.
you should let me
Tom.
do this. It's
I'm
ridiculous. Your sidecar, Sally.
Really
Let's
horrible.
get going.
Hi, Tom.
Hey, good morning. You were talking about Trump's appointments to the Fed or his nominees. There's Fed appointees are supposed to be somewhat nominally independent and have their own ideas. And the idea that Steve Moore, that's a super affable guy, he's on your show, all the books he wrote, he turned them into doorstops because he ripped them up because he sucked up to Trump to get on radio stations and be in Trump's orbit with Kudlow. So you don't think that he's going to be taking phone calls all day from Trump telling him what to do, and you got Trump that has no idea what an Austrian.
Let me ask you something. Is Stephen Moore taking more direction from Trump than Kim Fox is taken from Michelle Obama? Your call, Tom.
Yeah, that's a good one. Either way, they're done under the darkness of night where none of us know what it is.
Exactly.
I'm not sure.
Thank you, Tom.
Sure I agree with that as much as I believe when you are not moored to fundamentals.
No pun intended.
It is a pun intended. You are easily give them up to be popular.
All right. That's the end of our Stephen Moore talk because according to the regulations, you cannot badmouth a guest that you're going to suck up to the next day.
I'm not bad-mouthing. I'm giving him
within
these questions.
24 hours.
I'm giving him these questions.
I'm going to leave the room because I can't, and he'll go, it'll be the Stephen Moore nervous laugh.
I love the nerd. I love the nerd laugh.
Sean, you're absolutely right, but you have to see this. The economy is doing fantastic right now, and we got all this growth, and of course it's a sugar rush, and we're all going to die in a couple of quarters.
And that's why I'm excited about this guy.
Who's this guy? What's his name?
I don't know. I was handed a book.
Tyler Cohen.
You're a Jewish guy. Is it Cohen or Cohen?
I don't. What's the spelling?
All right,
of
let's
his name?
call him Bert.
He's going to be on our show tomorrow.
Okay.
And you'll read the book because I can't read anything longer than a tweet right now. I can read this liner that they gave me. We have to take a break right now.
What's with all the
This is the Salem Broadcasting Company, AM 560, The Answer. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and
turn the air up.
Amy.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
Hey, my friend's retail store was the victim of IoT password theft.
Yep. Cyber criminals are taking over security cameras, payment systems, and other IoT devices by exploiting vulnerabilities.
What if they target us and our dispersed network?
We're secured with Barracuda. We have advanced firewalls for our sites, enhanced security for our cloud infrastructure, and total email protection.
Such a relief.
Protect your business at Barracuda.com. Barracuda, your journey secured.
Let's think about customization presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Liberty Mutual customizes your auto insurance so you only pay for what you need. So why can't more things in life be customizable? Why can't I buy Neapolitan ice cream without strawberry? Can't I just have the chocolate and vanilla flavors I'm comfortable with? Do people even want a fruity ice cream flavor sandwiched right between the classics?
Go to libertymutual.com for a customized quote and you could save.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Equal housing insurer.
Liberty. It's catchy. Folks, you've heard Dan talk about North Ridge Prep before and how much he loves their paper and pen approach in the classroom. No one to iPads, Chromebooks, nothing. Zero distractions. Well, we talked to a current North Ridge Prep mom about the many schools that jumped on this tech bandwagon. And she said, I've heard from many teachers that no matter how many web filters and whatnot you put on it, the boys always figure it out and get around the filters. The boys snap photos, download games. It's a huge distraction. I just don't see the benefit of computers in class. Everyone jumped on that bandwagon, and I think that schools with large funds recognize them as something positive. But I applaud even Northridge Prep for not jumping on that bandwagon and really recognizing what's best for the boys. Yeah, that's what she said. You know, it's not backwards or antiquated. It's just common sense. Learn more about Northridge Prep at their open house on, you could have learned about it on Sunday, April 7th, which was yesterday. I love the retroactive teases. That's what I majored in radio broadcasting school. So, northridgeprep.org. Go to northridgeprep.org and find out about the school that you should send the guy who wrote this copy to.
Terrible.
Have you ever seen what really goes on in your caterer's or favorite restaurant's kitchen? What does the kitchen look like? How big is the operation? And maybe most importantly, who's cooking my meal? When you cater with Tasty Catering, you get more than quality food and event planning. You get an invitation to see what goes on throughout our entire building, including our kitchen. We call it our open kitchen door policy. Come see for yourself why we are so proud of what we do, and gain the peace of mind that comes with knowing the who's, the what's, the where's, and the how's of the way we prepare your food. Visit tastycatering.com for more information, or contact a Tasty Catering sales representative and set up a time to come meet with us at our home. You can't put a price on peace of mind, but if you had to, all it takes is one visit. Call 847-593-2000, 847-593-2000, or start your visit through our open doors at tastycatering.com.
Planning out every step of a construction project, whether it's pumping concrete for your new basement or a high-rise on Wacker Drive, can be stressful, and cost is as important as the ability to place the concrete quickly. You need a trusted company like Anderson Concrete Pumping. Using their state-of-the-art pumps and conveyors, Anderson Concrete Pumping can help you with the smallest footprint. They work fast and can pour with a day's notice. Not only will you save time, but also money. Anderson is the woman-owned concrete pumping company in the Midwest and a trusted conforms dealer. You know they do great work because you've seen it at Soldier Field, Wrigley Field, and McCormick Place. Anderson Concrete Pumping is the best choice for a job of any size. That's Anderson with an E. Visit AndersonPump.com to see a variety of working drawings and to schedule an on-site recommendation, or call 708-333-4433 for a free recommendation. That's 708-333-4433. Anderson with an E. Experience excellence.
By the way, mea culpa here, that last read was totally my fault. And I'm going to put it on my reel. So
terrible. Absolutely terrible.
There goes my shot at a podcast. Spring is in the air. But if you've got school-aged kids, then you should already be thinking about back-to-school season this fall. And you should consider sending your child to a private school at half the regular cost thanks to halfpriceschools.com. At halfpriceschools.com, you can find local private schools from all over Chicagoland that are offering vouchers for a full year of tuition at half the price with no catch. Find a school near you, purchase the tuition voucher, and prepare to send your child off to school this fall. It's that simple. Halfpriceschools.com has schools located all across Chicagoland, including Westminster Christian School in Elgin, Kingswood Academy in Darien, Calvin Christian School in South Holland, Lake County Baptist School in Waukegan. Make private school affordable for your family for the first time this year. These vouchers will sell out. Visit halfpriceschools.com today. That's halfpriceschools.com.
My husband was incredibly sick. We had kids already, and I just started a new job. A new baby did not fit into our life. I didn't know what to do, so I took the abortion pill.
Every day in the U.S., nearly 1,000 women make the choice to end their pregnancy through chemical abortion, the abortion pill. Many of these women immediately regret that choice.
As soon as I took the abortion pill, I knew I made a mistake. I needed to find a way to fix it.
For every $75 we raise, a woman gets a second chance at choice, and her baby gets a second chance at life through the Abortion Pill Rescue Network. For just $75, you can provide this life-saving medical solution to thousands of women that call us every month. Go to hbi.life and save a woman and her baby from abortion. That's hbi.life.
As a business owner, you have hundreds of decisions to make on a daily basis. It's beyond needing to pay bills, keeping employees happy, or what the next step is to grow your business. Part of your stress can be making sure you're protected in a time of crisis. Can you trust that your insurance provider is going to be there when you need them most? When you're looking for a partner who's there for you in your most desperate times, call Insure with us. You won't have to wait on hold to talk to an agent who's unfamiliar with your policy. Speak directly to who wrote your policy when you have any urgent question or need. Don't hesitate. Get it done today. Get a free quote in less than 24 hours at lowcostinsurance.biz. Choose from dozens of top insurers across the U.S. Insure with Us focuses on finding you the best coverage for your business and for your family. Visit them today at lowcostinsurance.biz. Insure with Us. Coverage for the things that matter most.
AM 560, The
Answer. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy, who are in Mexico. And let's go to John. Hi, John, from Schererville.
Hey, good morning. The Batman and Robin of Talk Radio. Great to have you in there substituting. I just had a lingering question concerning Northwestern, since I might have to go in there for an operation. Whatever happened to the individuals that got removed with the Smollett occurrence? Because if I show up in a MAGA hat, I'm a little concerned.
Thank you, John. Thank you. A good call.
Not sure if you want to wear a MAGA hat on your way to get health care.
You know what's interesting?
That's when you put on the Obama, I believe in hope and change.
So Kim Fox appeared at Operation Push over the weekend, and somebody tweeted, Jean Dancing Machine tweeted to me that she was doing her work release stuff before she gets sent to jail for what Kim Fox did at Operation Push, kind of like what Jussie Smollett did. I love the little battle that's going to be joined between Mayor-elect Lightfoot and Kim Fox, because essentially they're calling Kim Fox and Jesse Jackson are calling Mayor Lightfoot and Uncle Tom, because Mayor Lightfoot is asking for a fulsome, that's the word that you use, explanation for what went on here, and Kim Fox is doubling down on the racism. She thinks she's the victim right here.
I cannot imagine being part of the Chicago Police Department and watching this happen. As a bystander, we are the laughingstock of the nation. This is such obvious corruption, such obvious favoritism, and such obvious racism. I'm sorry, but it is. You're protecting someone who basically tried to incite a race riot. So that's what he tried to do.
So you don't buy the defense's story, Jussie Smollett's story, that the two brothers, what are they, the Tsarnaev brothers?
I want you to tell me.
Ozymandias brothers, whatever their names are, that they were actually in whiteface under those masks. This is what the woman said, the attorney said on the Today Show.
We just went through.
It didn't pass the smell test or the laugh test, but that's what they're saying, that those guys are liars.
A couple of days ago, there was that scoundrel, scumbag, who lied about being the kid who has been missing.
Yeah.
And he's charged with a 25-year possible prison sentence for a
horrible.
felony of lying to authorities. Right. What was different From that to Smollett.
Well, could they at least have gotten some remorse from the guy? You know, there's this professor at Kent. I think his name is Richard Klinger. Well, that's Corporal Klinger. Richard Kling, who's a liberal, because he's the go-to guy on legal questions all the time. He's a liberal, and he said in 48 years, he hasn't seen anything like this where they just caved. They totally caved.
I did a thing, not that you listened to my Sunday night show. I don't just have a podcast, by the way. I caught your little slap before the break last time. Yeah, huh? I don't miss a thing there, you. Anyway.
Well, I have to watch Bonanza.
I am telling you, Wolf, and you know I lean towards more of the conspiratorial theories.
Tell me about it. You don't even think we landed on the moon.
Sure. How do we take off? There's no gas tanks.
There's no gas tanks?
Liar. No gas tanks. What are you, Flash Gordon? How'd you get off the moon?
You know, that's food for thought right here.
All right.
So forget the 50-year anniversary celebration, July 20th, of us landing on the moon.
Didn't happen.
I'm sorry.
Happen. I don't believe it. Not to mention Nixon was a liar. Everything he said was a lie.
Send this down to Mexico to management, which is vacationing right now. Bruce and Sean questioning whether we actually landed on the moon. We're Soviet agents.
And this is the power of what I believe to be the gay mafia in politics in Hollywood.
There we go.
And this is the example.
Also a homophobic slur, just to throw in as a chaser. Okay, right ahead.
You think about the clout this kid had.
A
phone call was made, and they dropped a 16-count indictment. I want you to think about that. Cannot be done. That has mobsters all over the world saying,
just
what?
A shrug of the shoulders. I'm sorry. I'm a sick person. I need some help. No, not at all.
That's
you got
power.
Kim Fox doubling down. Get Jesse Jackson on the line.
He doesn't know if it's Tuesday or July. You see the dimwit yesterday? I mean, it was ridiculous. I was waiting for the spittle to come out of his mouth. He truly looks like a dementia ad, that son of a gun.
When I was hosting with Amy last year, whatever, she likes to have, when Dan's not here, some of the people that she wants on the show, and like Lynn Sweet, people like that. Yeah. And I don't get with the program, and I forget, and I start talking the way I feel like it. Well, we had Jesse Jackson on, and he was going to go to Korea to get some prisoners back home, and I said, "Aren't you violating the Logan Act?" And he didn't. I think they took him to Devon Avenue to Korean karaoke.
First of all,
his handlers took him there and said, "You're in Korea now. We're going to get the prisoners."
There's another punchline. The Reverend from Perpetual Tax Evasion, Jesse Jackson, Reverend my derriere. Remember, he's got the illegitimate kid he never paid the child support for. I got a couple friends that still live on the High Line. Right, they're at the Chop House. They're all over the city in these $200 a plate. Guess who's there every time they're there? Jesse Jackson with the Escalade out front. This guy lives like a true gangster. And the idea that he is somehow a religious figure and a leader of the black race is an insult
where are the cameras?
To me, and I'm not even black.
Move away.
It's
where are the
ridiculous.
cameras? I need the cameras. Where are the cameras? All right, Sean, what do you want to talk about next hour?
Let's slam somebody else. Let's go after Ed Burke. With the $70,000 Rolex from Jameson because he drank 1,000 bottles.
I love the way he gerrymandered that ward so that he got reelected. They reelected a corrupt guy.
I'm going to tell you something. That's why you have to leave the city of Chicago. The idea that your fellow citizen is this stupid or this corrupt.
I haven't lived there since 1958. I don't think you ever lived in the city of Chicago, did you?
No, I went there every day for work for 18 years. And I felt dirty enough to take me 3 showers. I was like sharing that movie Silkwood. I was scrubbing myself.
I think Mayor Lightfoot is going to retroactively tax you for the time that you worked there.
That's Chicago pride, huh? Lightfoot.
All right.
Same size urinal as Rahm Emanuel.
Coming up after 6 o'clock, more tomfoolery here with Bruce and Sean. Let's go to the newsroom now and Mike Scott.
Cubs and Pirates today in the home opener. 2 children among 6 people shot in a Chicago mass shooting. We'll have more details on that. Teenage girl goes missing on the south side. Brewers top the Cubs. Mariners cruise past the White Sox. And the Bulls, well, you may not be paying attention, but they have one more game against the Knicks tomorrow. Warm day ahead, more clouds and then sun. WIND Chicago News Time is 6 o'clock.
He replaced her in a tweet. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Kirstjen Nielsen out as the head of Homeland Security. President Trump tweeted who her replacement is. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, the head of Customs and Border Protection, Kevin McAleenan, will be the new acting Homeland Security Secretary, replacing Kirstjen Nielsen. President Trump tweeted late Sunday that he has confidence McAleenan will do a great job. Soon after, Nielsen tweeted that she had submitted her resignation, saying it's been an honor of a lifetime to serve with the brave men and women of DHS. Nielsen has agreed to remain in position until Wednesday. The announcement comes after the president said he wants to go in a tougher direction for the nomination of a new director for immigration and customs enforcement Dave?
Rachel, House Democrats have given the IRS until Wednesday to turn over President Trump's tax returns. The head of the Ways and Means Committee using his authority under IRS tax code to get what the president has refused to hand over. But acting White House Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney tells Fox
that is not going to happen, and they know it. This is a political stunt.
A Democrat considering running for president, Pete Buttigieg, takes issue with the vice president, speaking about being openly gay at an LGBTQ event in Washington.
And that's the thing I wish the Mike Pences of the world would understand. That if you got a problem with who I am, your problem is not with me. Your quarrel, sir, is with my creator.
Buttigieg is the mayor of South Bend, Indiana. He's raised more than $7 million as he explores a possible 2020 run. There's a new king of country at the ACM Awards.
And the winner is Keith Urban.
He won the Entertainer of the Year on the CBS show, but Thomas Rhett was the Male Artist of the Year. Casey Musgraves won the Female Award and Album of the Year. Dan and Shay, 3 awards for the Duo of the Year. They also got Song and Single of the Year. This is Fox News.
"52 degrees in Chicago. 6:02 is our time on AM 560, The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Cubs and Pirates today at Wrigley Field for the home opener. John Lester will climb up on that hill for the Cubs as they try to stop the bleeding coming off a not-so-good weekend in Milwaukee. Chicago police tell us this morning they're searching for a 16-year-old girl who went missing last week on Chicago's South Side. Police say Sarah Dawson was last seen April 3rd in the 1100 block of East 47th Street. In one of her first acts, Mayor Lori Lightfoot is encouraging the city council to slow down on the Lincoln Yards development project. This comes as the Finance Committee is moving forward to sign off on 2 new TIF financing districts, one for the $6 billion Lincoln Yards development, the other for the 78 development between Roosevelt Road and Chinatown. Chicago coming off a violent weekend. 4 were killed, 24 wounded in shooting since Friday afternoon. No one is in custody after a single mass shooting over the weekend that wounded 2 children and 4 adults on the South Side.
People were standing out and some guys just came around and started shooting indiscriminately.
The victims were shot Saturday night during a baby shower near 63rd and Sealy. Illinois raising the age for people to legally buy tobacco to 21.
I just have one message to the tobacco companies. Our kids are not part of your profit margin. Keep your hands off of them.
It's Rahm Emanuel who joined J.B. Pritzker in signing that measure into law yesterday that raises the minimum age for tobacco and e-cigarette purchases from 18 to 21. Brewers double up the Cubs 4-2 in Milwaukee. Mariners over the White Sox 12-5 at the rate. Bulls host their final home game of the season tomorrow night against the Knicks. The news service of La Quinta by Wyndham. La Quinta by Wyndham, spacious rooms, free high-speed Wi-Fi, and a delicious bright side breakfast. Everything you need to more than succeed. Tonight, La Quinta. Tomorrow, you triumph. Book direct at LQ.com. 6:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
The best conversations happen with a cigar in one hand and a fine drink in the other. Join Dennis Prager live in Chicago for Cigar Night on Thursday, May 16th at the Bolingbrook Golf Club. Dennis will be joined by AM 560's Dan Proft for an evening of cigar smoking and good conversation. Tickets start at $29 and include a cigar. Get your tickets at 560theanswer.com/cigar. Sponsored by Fireplace and Chimney Authority, Permaseal, The Range at 355, and healthinsurancementors.com.
All money managers might seem the same, but while some give their clients cookie-cutter portfolios, Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to your goals and needs. Some only call when they have something to sell. Fisher calls regularly, so you stay informed. And while some advisors are happy to earn commissions whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come from other money managers. So if you're in or nearing retirement, talk with us and find out why investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments. Clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
Message and data rates may apply.
Ladies and gentlemen, this may be the last time you ever have to worry about hair loss. Because Bosley is the real deal. They're giving women and men their hair back permanently. Their real hair. All it takes to get started is a single text message. You'll get an absolutely free information kit and a free gift card when you text TRUST to 85850. Bosley will show you, for free, how great your hair could look. You'll also see, for free, why you're losing hair and how to get it back. Women and men all over the country trust Bosley because they're America's #1 hair restoration expert, ahead of the curve with the latest technology. And the best part? Bosley has permanent solutions to hair loss. You'll love what they'll do for your hair. So drop what you're doing long enough to send a text. Get your free information kit and gift card for $250 off by texting TRUST to 85850. Don't forget, that's TRUST to 85850.
Staples has the supplies you need to run your business like a boss. Now save up to 20% on the all-new HP Office Jet Pro printers. They're smart, mobile, and secure. Plus, save up to $50 more in store when you trade in your old printer. Ends 5/4/19. See store or staples.com/HP Office Jet Pro. Staples.
6:07. Let's check the roads in the AM 560 traffic center with Jim Talamonte.
On the Indiana Toll Road, there is additional road construction now westbound from 20 in East Chicago to the state line. Seeing mild delays right now at West Point Toll Plaza and Indianapolis Boulevard. Edens is fine. Inbound Kennedy, tight Cumberland to Foster. 24 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 28. Delays coming out of the circle to Adams for this crash in the right lane. This is backing up the inbound ride. It is jammed. 35th to the Burn Circle, 46 minutes. 95th to downtown. I-57, 16 minutes. I-80 to the Merge Bishop, 421. Eisenhower, 38 minutes. 390 to downtown. Stevenson, 42 minutes. 355 to the drive. It's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center, and our meteorologist is Steve Williams.
More clouds than sun. Warm today, high 72. Partly cloudy tonight, low 46. Intervals of clouds and sun. Breezy tomorrow, the high 62. Breezy and cool. Rain Wednesday with a high only 42. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 54 at O'Hare. Next news, 6:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is sponsored by Financial Planning with Jack Taboda, your 401k specialist. Heard Saturday mornings at 7 right here on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Ding, 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 ding. Brucey Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. Let's go to the phone lines right now. I'll decide if we're going to the phone lines.
Oh, boy. Yeah. You're going to have one of these moments now? Jeez. Get that live read for Depends. All right.
Verlon from the south side. Hi, Verlon.
How's it going, Dream Team?
Hey.
How you fellas doing?
Very good. How are you this fine Monday morning?
I'm doing okay, but I got something on my mind.
Sure.
Listen, I'm no cheerleader or no rah-rah-rah, shish-goom-bah type guy.
You don't have the legs for it. Yeah.
Now, when it comes to the police, but Bobby Rush crossed the line, man, when he tried to compare the police to the Ku Klux Klan.
The Blue Klux Klan. That's funny, though. Blue Klux Klan. I get it.
Well, the Ku Klux Klan. I'm sorry. I'm trying.
No, but that's what he said. That's what they said. That's what their chants are right now. They're calling the police the Blue Klux Klan. Isn't that clever?
Well, see, yeah. I'm slow. I didn't know
I understand. And Verlon, before you go ahead with this, I've got the Karnak answer for you since you mentioned it already. Sis boom ba.
I was going to say Black Panther.
Sis boom ba. No, that's the answer.
All right.
Dan should be here because he does a great Johnny Carson impersonation. He does. Sis boom ba. All right. The question is, or the answer is, Karnak, you know what it is? Name the sounds an exploding sheep makes. Yes, that's one of the great Karnak
Oh,
all right, boy, that went over
Man,
like a lead balloon.
oh, man. Let
All
me
right,
do the
Bob-
jokes, all right?
Verlon, yes, Bobby Rush crossed the line. Yeah, you know he's a hack. You know Bobby Rush is a hack from way back. Go ahead.
But it's something deeper going on. Now, Sean knows I argue with these liberals every weekend. It's a guilty pleasure of mine. but the thing about it is, it's a running narrative that they have that if some skinhead or some guy with a tiki torch shows up where you are, they connect you to the Klan. They say you're the Klan. They do it to our president. Now they're doing it to the police. And I think this needs to be stopped before it really takes hold and becomes one of their rallying points.
Let me ask you this, Verlon. Don't you agree with Jussie Smollett's defense? First of all, it's definitely a racist attack on Kim Foxx. I think we can all agree on that, right? But don't you agree?
No.
Don't you agree that the brothers, and I forgot their name now. Is it Tsarnaev or Ozymandias? Whatever the brothers' names are, the ones who are testifying against Smollett, who participated in the alleged hoax with him. I mean, one of the brothers issued some homophobic tweets a few years ago and was convicted of aggravated battery. So they don't have credibility. Don't you think that actually the case was both strong and weak, according to the prosecutor's office? Your view, Verlon.
Strong and weak.
That's what they said. It's both strong and weak. They talk out of all three sides of their mouth.
You are tying me in knots this morning, Bruce. I don't know what to say.
He ties himself in knots. He's the only host I've ever heard interrupt himself.
Last word, Verlon. Will the Cubs fire Joe Madden before Mother's Day?
No.
Okay, there you go. Thanks, Verlon. It's opening day.
I don't know a lot about sports, as you know. I don't care, but I keep hearing about this Joe Madden. He's so cool. He's, to me, cool. I got to fire him in my cigar store like that. They're not cool. They're on Vicodin and drinking. That's not cool. He's sedated. Yeah.
You know why he's cool? Why the media love
Dyes
Joe
his
Madden?
hair?
Because he can speak in polysyllabic words.
Oh, look at
he's
you.
actually a smart guy who uses words like polysyllabic.
Well, if I can get back to just for
Go
a minute
right ahead.
to Verlon's major point.
Yeah.
Let's think about what the city of Chicago is. It's a city that wants to use racism under the guise of eradicating racism. And the idea that Bobby Rush, an open racist, he is a Black Panther, comes out and says that the FOP is racist when this man has made not just his money, but his legacy on implementing racism where he saw fit. And the response by these talking mannequins stuffed into their costumes. No offense, Allison Rosati particular. The fact of the matter is that they regurgitate.
She's a friend of mine.
That's all right. Big deal. That's a short list. Yeah. The fact is that they regurgitate this without pointing out this is a man who spent his first 30 years as a rabid racist.
No, I concur.
That's why you're a
remember,
joke. Why Chicago's
do you
a joke.
remember Nixon was the only guy who could go to China? Remember back in the early 70s? He was the only guy who could do that, who could have the rapprochement with China. And Lori Lightfoot is going to be the only one who's going to be able to extinguish and eradicate the Kim Foxx plague.
Why, do you think Lori Lightfoot's not in on the scam?
She
you think
just
Lori
said she
Lightfoot
wants an
is an
explanation.
angel?
She could have sided with them. No,
There is no choice of good. It's different versions of bad.
Look, I don't think Lori Lightfoot has a clue as to how to deal with the finances of the city of Chicago, but she is an honest prosecutor.
Her and Grady.
Yeah.
You know what the choice was? Genital warts or herpes. That's the choice. You lose either way you get it.
Let's talk from Candace, who gets farther and farther away from us. I think she lives near the Arctic Circle now. But hi, Candace. Yes.
Hi. Yeah, the young or the old. What's the difference? I agree, Sean. Okay, what's driving me crazy is that we do not have good police leadership who speaks out against these cultural Marxists, who has the BALLS to do so, like the guy in Houston. Remember that guy in Houston who came out and said, we're not going to put up with this S anymore.
Right.
You're going to push up against us. We're going to push right back. Where's the guy who says that? You know, in Chicago.
Well, he's that little short.
Well, Eddie Johnson, but Candace, Eddie Johnson said we have the goods on Jussie Smollett. What more do you want the guy to do?
Puppet. Eddie Johnson's a puppet who acts like, oh, this is so
He wanted to take it. He's exercised about the whole deal. He's upset with Kim Fox.
So
what
he
more do
knows
you want?
all about it. That's why he talked about it, so it ruined the case.
Oh, my God. Candace.
Talk about conspiracy.
Get thee to a nunnery, Candace.
Here's the thing.
Thank you so much.
What about the guy who looks like Pritzker with a mustache from the FOP? What's his name? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. We talked to him.
He's the guy that, okay, it's outrageous, and he's right to a certain extent.
Right.
But what he's not telling you is what's their recourse. What is your recourse? You have no
Kim
recourse.
Fox will lose at the ballot box.
Oh, poppycock.
Poppycock, I like to say.
Because if you're going to tell me Ed Burke, open and notorious gangster that he has been for 50 years, not only doesn't lose, but gets awards for as being an elder statesman in Chicago.
You don't innocently construe the telephone conversation the Fed's having him in which he says we've got to play hardball with the guy.
Here's the other thing.
Hardball can mean anything.
Which
right?
Feds? Because there you go. That's the music. That's the Chicago Democrat Party. That's not three Italians having espresso talking about a line on the Bears game.
You brought in the chocolate shake for me this morning, but where was the cannoli? That's what I want from my Italian
Leave it
guy.
in the car. My point is, and the thing they're investigating him. Which feds are investigating? The same Chicago feds that sat here waiting for their haircuts for 50 years? How could you be a Chicago Fed or an investigative reporter and not every day be investigating a political corrupt scheme, whether it be a contract, an employment agreement, a TIF agreement? You mean to tell me that this just goes on and then all of a sudden we feign outrage? We're so outraged. Burke has been doing the same schematic of corruption since he was elected to the time he got caught. And it took you 50 years, and he got reelected again.
Do you want your body to explode like Sonny at the Causeway right now? Listen to this.
I've been asking myself for the last 2 weeks, what is this really about?
This is Kim Fox.
And as someone who has lived in this city, who came up from the projects of this city to serve as the first African-American woman in this role.
My eyes have seen the glory.
It is disheartening to me. And to the women and men for whom I represent, that there is not a place I go that I don't represent for Cabrini. That's right. That when we get in these positions, that somehow goalposts change.
The goalposts.
I've been asking myself.
You know what? This woman is actually doubling down on the race card. I mean, the chutzpah is wonderful. I love that.
Hide behind your genitalia. Hide behind your race in hopes they cannot see the corruption.
But I got to tell you
because
something.
That's what this is.
Remember during the primary when she broke bad, I think the candidate was Donna Moore or something like that. She played the race card against her, too. I warned the city of Chicago then, right here from the seat where you are. And did the city of Chicago listen to me? No, they put Kim Fox in as attorney.
Because they're in on the scam.
As the state's attorney.
The fellow citizen in Chicago is in on the scam.
It falls back to Rahm Emanuel, who threw Anita Alvarez under the bus, and now you've got Kim Fox. How about that?
That's why I don't cry too much over the whole FOP thing. There's another group of people. You're going to tell me your promise, your corrupt promise of that phony baloney pension is more important than my real promise of my investment in my economy.
David
right?
from McCook. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, gentlemen. You guys remember a couple years ago when Bobby Rush said something about Mark Kirk being an elitist white boy?
No. Okay.
More double standard. If Mark Kirk had said something about Bobby Rush eating KFC every day, we'd still be talking about it.
Thank you so much, David.
Hey,
you know who gets away?
But here's the thing.
You know who gets away with stuff like that? Talking about KFC. Bill Maher, a few weeks ago, a black congressman was on, and he said Bill Maher made a Popeye's chicken joke with the black congressman. Nothing happened to him. Nothing, because he's a liberal darling. Of course, there's a double standard.
Well, that's what happens when you wield political correctness like a scepter. As
cudgel.
Long as you control it, you're exempt from the ramifications, right? And this is the thing you're witnessing here in Chicago. The problem that you're seeing, to me, is I don't care which one of them. Because the fact of the matter is that the corruption has already exonerated the corrupt. Now all you have is this faux outrage. And what will be the outcome? Zero. Zippo. Nada.
All right. Speaking of goalposts, coming up after the break, we won't be talking about. I like to tease things we won't be talking about. We won't be talking about how Adam Schiff has shifted the goalpost. Now he's talking about, well, there's like this collusion.
By the way, did you see
there
Trump?
was no crime necessarily, but there really was collusion. No, that's not what you said before.
Trump's stealing my pencil nut geek. I said that 5 years ago when he first appeared. Adam Schiff. Now Trump's using my pencil neck geek. He's got it.
There you go. Well, he's a plagiarist, too.
He listens to
In
the
addition
show.
to being a golf cheat. That's what Donald Trump is. But he's my president. I voted for him, and I'll vote for him again. This is Bruce Wolf, along with Sean Thompson, in for Dan and Amy on AM 560, The Answer.
He's running out of steam, ladies and gentlemen. Can you tell these old birds, they burn out fast? All right.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest-growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Bob Aument, a founding partner of the law firm of Dassman & Aument and longtime personal customer of Signature Bank. Our firm recently left one of the larger banks to bank with Signature Bank, and it's been a refreshing change. With Signature Bank, we've been able to tailor banking solutions that fit the specific needs of our firm. Beyond that, Signature Bank is responsive, efficient, and timely in meeting those needs. If I have a request, I pick up the phone and talk to Mick O'Rourke, not someone at a phone bank thousands of miles away. Dassman & Aument needed more than what the larger banks offer, and we found that with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You probably didn't realize it, but the largest organ on your body is your skin. Well, yeah, you gotta have skin. All you really need is skin. Skin's the thing that if you got it outside, it helps keep your insides in. But enough of my parody there of you gotta have heart. Guys, you're probably not taking care of your skin the way you should. You're probably using the same body bar of soap in the shower on your face, like some kind of savage. And I bet you're not using any type of daily moisturizer, let alone one with SPF. It's time to do something smart about your skincare. There's a company right here in Chicago called Tiege Hanley, and they're doing something about how men think about and treat their skin. It was started by 4 guys who know how guys think. Tiege Hanley is simple, affordable, and effective. You'll get all the products you need for your daily skincare regimen shipped directly to your door through their subscription service. There are no hidden fees or inflated costs. They have an online review score of 4.6 out of 5 based on over 2,200 reviews. Choose from 3 skincare systems, which each include their wash, scrub, and moisturizers with SPF 20. You can even up your routine to include eye cream and or super serum, both for fighting the signs of aging. And Dan Proft loves it. He uses it. Right now, go to Tiege.com/Dan Proft. Use the promo code DAN20 at checkout for 20% off your first box. That's Tiege, TIEGE.com/Dan Proft and use promo code DAN20.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson. Spring is going to be here soon, and it's the perfect time to take notice of any paint issues. Call the professionals at CertaPro Painters right away to take care of your home. Our front porch and back porches were chipping and peeling, just an eyesore. But CertaPro Painters swooped in and made a huge difference. They also painted a majority of our rooms in our house, the quality, service, and attention to detail like no other paint company. You know, spring is the season of change. Time to change your wall color or exterior and transform your home with an updated new look. And if you want some help with colors, they've got you covered with in-home color consultation or online with a color visualizer. Don't put it off. Time to hire CertaPro Painters, your residential and commercial painting expert. Schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
AM 560, The Answer.
Hola, Dan and Amy coming to you from the Maraval Distinct Luxury Residences in scenic Nuevo Vallarta.
And our Passport to Paradise trip is sponsored by
Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling.
You got it. You nailed it.
Garrett Vespo and Company, great entrepreneur. And we're having a good old time here. This is what, day
3.
Day,
whatever, 1, 3, fine.
Day 3.
Any day that ends in
Y,
Dan. It
goes by so fast.
It does, and it's so much fun.
Yeah, day 3. And I know you are a little bit taken aback that they don't allow feral cats on the property, which is something everybody else here enjoys.
Well, I got up early and had a plate of bacon ready to meet some new friends.
That's
I know,
weird.
I'm so weird. And I couldn't find any, and then I see signs, and I'm going to tweet this out that say, it's a picture of a cat, a shadow cat with a red circle around it and a red X through it. No cats are allowed.
Right, so don't feed them. You don't need to feed them because they're not here. Now, the thing is, we barely made it here, too. I mean, we should make mention of the exciting flight that we had on Frontier, where it was a bit of an experiment. We were using the trainees from Ethiopian Air, so we knew it was going to be a little bit dicey.
They were about that age.
But we had a little turbulence. It shook some people. It shook some drinks.
Well, yeah,
it frightened some people.
It
I
didn't
enjoyed
shake
it.
drinks. Dan, my drink was on top of me. I had soda water, and it spilled all over my lap as if I wet myself. Thank you. And everybody else around me
Nice
was.
cover.
Thank you. Was the three girls behind me were screaming and crying so loudly.
That was Mike Sakoff and his wife. Those were girls.
That I had to calm them down because I felt as if we stalled, and then the plane rattled, and then we dropped about 20 feet.
So
and everyone went, "Oh!"
Yeah, it's a little bit of a
Screaming.
roller coaster. It was a bunny. But here's the thing that is different for everybody who's flown through turbulence, which is most everybody who's flown. The thing that was cool was we hit this pocket in a way that it was like a skidding.
Yeah.
And so people thought the plane was coming apart. And I laughed and laughed and laughed. Not coming apart. You're just skidding over an airburst. But it was just different. Most people, even experienced flyers, like I was sitting with Jonathan and Jennifer from Wichita, and he was a little bit jumpy about it.
Yeah, he's driving back.
So it was probably an inopportune time for my plane crash humor, but
no, it wasn't. But
I did it nonetheless.
But then I looked out left and we got out of it. And I told the ladies behind me, I said, "We're out of it. We're out of the storm," because he didn't fly above the storm or even around it. He kind of flew right through it.
He didn't really fly through it. He skidded through it. But to each his own. Everybody has a different style of flying.
Yeah.
And it's not for us to judge. Now, the thing that would have been nice
is the part that
when the stewardess came on.
They're called flight attendants.
The stewardess, when she came on, she did not exactly calm the passengers. She sounded very nervous, very jumpy.
Yes.
She basically said, "Look, I don't know what the heck is going on, but if we get through this, the pilot will come on and tell you." So that didn't settle the passengers so much.
Well, the problem is, then when we got off the plane, because we did make it safely, obviously, I gave him some unsolicited advice. Hey, you, Junior, because he looked prepubescent. Yeah. And he was kind of standing there. He looked a little shocked. I said, "Next time,
shocked he landed.
We are your customers, so you might want to tell us what's going on." I can understand at the time when it's happening, but you could have come on with a reassuring voice, like, "Hey, everything's fine now. We hit an air pocket. Blah, blah, blah." Obviously, it wasn't planned.
How about a little bit beforehand for you commercial pilots out there?
Yeah.
Some form of turbulence is coming. You may just want to say, "Hey,
buckle up,
cinch it up and hunker down. We got a little turbulence." So you're a little Hawk Harrelson. No problem. I got it under control. But they didn't do that.
If I didn't have my seatbelt on, I would have definitely hit the
That's why you always wear your
seatbelt
seatbelt when you're seated. That's right. It's a cautionary tale. It's a public service announcement. It was super. And then the best part, too, was when we landed on the runway, which was sort of a 50-50 proposition. There was like this sarcastic applause.
Yeah.
Like people were, I don't know exactly what they were. They were happy they didn't die. They were happy he landed on the runway. But it was an interesting flight.
Yeah, it was,
Yeah, it was fun. And then that then just seamlessly ushered into the fun by the seaside, by the poolside.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a different residence. It's a luxury residence.
Yeah,
That's
we got these super suites.
Well, it's 1,400 square feet. My place is, and that's bigger than my house.
You measured it.
Well, no, because I have 2 floors.
I see. Of course.
I'm a bit of a hotel snob, and you'll want to be sure to check back on our. We put out videos. I'm going to give you guys a tour.
No, but this is if you're coming down to Nueva Vallarta, be smart about it, because this is it's child friendly. But the other residence is where all the families are. This is pretty much all adults, and you have these awesome suites.
Gorgeous.
They're massive.
With gorgeous views of the ocean, too.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And I like being on this side, too, the Pacific side in Mexico, because you get more wave action.
Yeah.
So going in the ocean's fun, the wave runners and the parasailing and all that stuff is fun. Yeah. This is Dan and Amy, Passport to Paradise in Nueva Vallarta, coming to you from the Marival Distinct Luxury Residences.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
As soon as I found out I was pregnant, I told my fiancé. He told me that we have too much going on with college, and a baby would distract us from our plans. I felt so alone. So I took the abortion pill.
More than 350,000 babies die each year through this simple act, taking a pill. And many of these women who take take the abortion pill immediately regret their choice.
I knew I made a mistake. I had already taken the pill, and it was doing what it was meant to do, ending my pregnancy. I needed to find a way to make things right.
Now, women like Jessica can make it right. It only costs $75 to reverse the process and save a baby. For just $75, you can provide this life-saving medical solution to thousands of women that call us every month. Go to hbi.life and save a woman and her baby from abortion. That's hbi.life.
AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. Coming up after the news, we won't be talking about how the Cubs were mathematically eliminated before their home opener today.
You can't win a championship in April, but you might be able to lose it.
I curse the Ricketts. Curse them. You talk against your father. You should lose every game. Bum.
The father should be grandfathered in, right?
Double entendre.
Well, no, because, the older folks are entitled. Did you hear Dan in that bit before? He called a flight attendant a stewardess. That's because he's an old
your
man.
Stewardess.
Yeah.
Listen.
Right. Coffee, tea, or me, Mr. Prof.
What would Ricketts be without the old man? Huh? Think about it. What did he do? Waited for his check to roll in like Pritzker.
I hate an ungrateful trust fund baby. Let's go into the newsroom now with Mike Scott. Good morning, Mike.
Bruce and Sean, good morning. Good morning, everyone. 52 outside. Cubs and Pirates are on tap at Wrigley Field. Let's hope they can get the ship righted. And John Lester may be the person to do that, opposing Pittsburgh's Jamison Talion today. Outgoing Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen stepping down. NBC's Hans Nichols this morning with details on the news that broke yesterday.
What we know from Nielsen's side of things is that she was clearly frustrated with the president, but in a lot of ways this is a personality difference. The president clearly frustrated with her as well. The policy differences that they had are more difficult to suss out.
During a time as head of DHS, Nielsen was tasked with enforcing the administration's policy of child separation at the southern border, among other responsibilities. American Airlines canceling 2 months of flights while its Boeing 737 MAX fleet remains grounded now through June 5th. Federal agents are investigating what they call a string of suspicious fires at black churches in Louisiana. 3 churches have burned in less than 2 weeks in St. Landry Parish near Baton Rouge. Chicago coming off a violent weekend. 4 were killed, 2 dozen more wounded in shootings since Friday afternoon. No one is in custody following one of those shootings, a mass shooting over the weekend that wounded 2 children and 4 adults on the south side.
People were standing out and some guys just came around and started shooting indiscriminately.
Victims were shot Saturday night during a baby shower near 63rd and Sealy. A man is dead following a one-vehicle crash on Chicago's west side. It happened in the 4600 block of West Roosevelt Road. A Chicago priest who was investigated for sexual misconduct against a minor is back at his Northwest Side parish after being completely cleared of wrongdoing. Cardinal Blaise Supich announcing over the weekend he's reinstated Father Gary Graff. Brewers doubled up the Cubs 4-2. Mariners over the White Sox 12-5 at the rate. The Bulls host their final home game of the season tomorrow night against the Knicks. The news, a service of Lowe's. Do it right to get a landscape you'll love by shopping Lowe's Spring Black Friday sale. You'll find great deals in store like 5 bags of Scott's mulch for $10. Valid in store only through 4/17. Not valid in Alaska or Hawaii while supplies last. See store for details. U.S. only. 6:34, time for a dry basement and a healthy home. It's time to call Permaseal 800-421-SEAL. And a check of traffic and weather is on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher is waiting for the reckoning.
There has to be responsibility taken for how this corrupt, pathetic narrative began. I think the American people demand it. From where I sit, this isn't political revenge. This is a reckoning that is needed to prevent this from ever happening again.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
What is certainty? Certainty is the passionate commitment to fulfill every promise. Certainty is 4imprint, a caring, trusted team of promotional product experts, minding every detail to ensure your logo will look perfect on everything from apparel, drinkware to trade show traffic stoppers and hot tech, all delivered on time, every time, with the promise of your satisfaction guaranteed. So, what does certainty bring? Promotional items exceeding expectations, a buzz of excitement for your team and your customers, a pep in your step, a fist pump, a whoop, a tingle, a grin, a laugh, or even one quiet word that no one will ever hear. Yes! Explore thousands of promotional products at 4imprint.com. That's the number 4imprint.com. 4imprint. For certain.
Custom designed and constructed homes are only as good as their foundation. Likewise, choosing a custom home builder to build your forever family home is the foundational decision for the biggest investment of your life. Trust the experience and vision of McNaughton Development to make your dream home a reality. McNaughton has a proven track record of building high-quality, award-winning custom-designed homes throughout the Chicagoland suburbs and will guide you through every aspect of the home building process, from finding the perfect lot to working with preferred architects, project managers, and in-house designers for selections and customizations, to a successful walkthrough and close of your forever home. Find out more about partnering with McNaughton Development to turn your home vision into a reality. Visit LuxuryCustomConstruction.com to explore everything currently available, including Lakeside Point and Waterview Estates of Burr Ridge, Copperleaf of Downers Grove, Chestnut River Point of Naperville, Bluff Point of Orland Park, and Madison Estates of Hinsdale. LuxuryCustomConstruction.com.
6:37. Let's get an update on the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
Eastbound Reagan Tollway has heavy traffic from 83 to before the Tri-State crash in the center lane. The inbound Ryan has heavy delays after a crash downtown at Adams. The outbound Kennedy is 50 minutes from 95th to downtown. I-57, 18 minutes. I-80 to the Merge Bishop, 420. Eden's 21 minutes. Lake Cook to Junction. Kennedy, 28 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 39. Westbound 190 has bottled up traffic. Kennedy to Manheim. At Eisenhower, 51 minutes. 390 to downtown. 38 from Manheim. Stevenson, 50 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive. On Tri-State is heavy at 290. It's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Warm day ahead with more clouds than sun. High 72, currently 54. Your next news is at 7. And with Dan and Amy in Mexico, Chicago's Morning Answer continues next with Bruce and Sean on AM 560 The Answer.
Don't miss the online auction in Elk Grove Village, featuring hundreds of lots of tooling, forklifts, maintenance, and shop support equipment. Ends this Wednesday and Thursday. Bid online at hilcoind.com.
Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson. In for Dan and Amy. And during the break, I mentioned to Sean that Kirsten Nielsen is gone, and he said, "Oh, that happened? So you don't pay attention to the news on Sunday?"
Yes, you were busting my down at all.
You were busting my chops during an earlier break that I didn't watch. I didn't watch Stephanopoulos yesterday. I got to watch that Clinton apologist Stephanopoulos.
I figured you'd watch him because he's the Greek version of you. That's why I thought you'd watch him. I thought
suave.
You were enamored.
Is he like about 4'11"? He looks like
I'm a head taller than him, and that's not saying much.
Okay.
No, but
so Kirsten Nielsen, head of the Department of Homeland Security, and she was making the rounds on the talk shows last week. She was on with Bret Baier. She was defending the Trump administration, but apparently there was a rift there, and Trump was very upset that she was kind of lax in her border security role.
Well, first of all, you know what I'm going to love about this are all the Trump Krishnas, and I say this lovingly. Sure. All the Trump Krishnas who loved her Friday, now they're going to hate her. She's a rotten day. When the reality is, and I like a lot of things Trump does. I really do.
Yeah.
And I get it that he was the binary choice and yada, yada, yada. I get it. He's our Lightfoot.
You didn't vote for him, did you?
No, I didn't.
Who did you vote for?
I wrote not good enough, and that's how I like to file.
So you're a never Trumper.
No, of course not.
So how would you?
I'm a never stupid.
How would you like
I'm a never compromise my beliefs.
How would you like a Supreme Court right now that had Merrick Garland or somebody even more to the left than he was, and that?
How about Roberts?
And how would you like it that churches and synagogues would lose their 501c3 status if they didn't perform gay marriages?
I'd rather challenge the authority of these freaks called the Supreme Court justices like Ginsburg, by the way, who I think has been dead for weeks, and their weekend at Bernie and her.
There is a rumor.
Come on. Anthony Perkins taped her to a chair, and she's in front of a window. Come on, she's gone.
There is a rumor that, and since last hour, we're having a conspiracy rumor every hour. It's de rigueur on this show. That Sean does not believe that the moon landing occurred.
How'd you take off from the moon? Just tell me how you took off. Where's the gas tank?
There's no gravity.
Oh, there's no gravity. So you got in it, you hit a button, and you went back like nothing.
All
like Flash
you
Gordon.
do, you believe that
liars.
When we were flying to the moon, fly me to the moon,
I'll tell you
there were no gas tanks.
Buzz Aldrin's a liar, too. I never liked the look of him.
But here's the thing. When you leave the moon, I'm no physicist, but I believe that you just fall off of it.
Because
right
you're a
Earth's
useful
atmosphere.
idiot. I buy none of it. It took gas tanks the size of semi-trucks just to get it off of Earth's gravity. But when it's on the moon, no gas tanks at all. Just get in,
By the way,
Flash Gordon, and hit the button, huh?
Speaking of physicists, did you see what Richard Dawkins, was he the guy that hosts Family Feud? No, he's the physicist. Richard Dawkins.
He was the one who kissed people like Biden?
He was talking about
Brexit.
He was talking about Brexit, and he was saying, doing an analogy, and he said, he said that the people who are trying to impose Brexit are like people who want to defy the laws of physics. And I would say to him, hey, physics isn't politics, dipwad. I love when these guys who are geniuses in one area, but I'm hopscotching on topics here. You want to talk about immigration because you want to let anybody across the border.
No, I don't. No, I don't at all. I believe in secure borders, and I believe in a policy that makes it very, very easy for those people who are not coming here for welfare, but who are coming here to be an asset to get here. Right? I believe in the way immigration was always meant to be. Mm-hmm. You see, what Trump said yesterday, as inarticulate as possible, when he said we're all full, is a certain level of ignorance that almost has to be laughed at.
Well, we need immigrants.
Not only that.
For no other reason than have you seen the birth rate in this country right now?
It doesn't matter.
It's down to 1.77. That's a great earned run average, but not a great birth rate. You need a 2.1 in order to reproduce yourself.
Full is our welfare system. And that's what immigration has come to represent. Right. What's not full is the need for good, productive people.
Well, Trump paints with a broad brush.
Listen to me, Bruce. Yeah. Listen to me. If you take nothing away from this week,
Sean.
and I end up not punching you by Tuesday morning, listen to this. America is developed less than 6%. I want you to think about how minuscule it is. Less than 6% of this country is actually developed. So when you hear statements like America is full, laugh, if not slap, whoever says it, because it is a stupid statement.
You should recuse yourself from this because everybody knows that you're in real estate.
Not here. I ain't selling you real estate in Illinois, brother. I don't hate you that much.
Things, and I noted, and I even tweeted this to you yesterday, there was a picture of a 17-foot python with 73 developing eggs in a Florida nature preserve, and I was wondering if that was some swampland that you were trying to sell somebody.
I never sell swampland
in Florida.
I will sell adjacent land with a view of the swamp, but I will never sell the swampland. But Florida is the best place because it is among the best-run states. And when you purchase real estate, you are buying a minuscule piece of that state, so you do not buy in bankrupt states. Number one macro economic rule when looking at real estate. So if you're thinking about buying, don't. Rent.
I would like an investigation into you because I have personal suspicion, if not knowledge, that when you take people around in Florida to look for property,
I take my shirt off?
Well, not only that, which is very seductive. What you do is you tell them, Disney is planning on expanding right in this area.
I don't do that, but
in
I wish
25 years because they want a whole theme park for just Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, which is not getting the play in the Magic Kingdom that it should.
And you know what I love about that little thing? It pays homage to the genius in which Disney acquired property.
Tell people how Disney acquired the property. He did it surreptitiously.
He did it the way Pritzker pays taxes.
Exactly.
He set up 50 shill companies and acquired it under that and transferred the property into a trust.
He couldn't tell anybody
because of what
the prices would have skyrocketed had they known that they wanted to build there.
Correct.
That's the way you do it.
Which is kind of what Chicago politicians do when they say a new TIF is coming into an area. They pump and dump worthless land.
I don't want to talk about Lincoln Yards. I don't understand it. Can we go to Mike right here on the north side? Hi, Mike.
Good morning. Good morning. Last night I went to bed. I was expecting to wake up to the dulcet tones of Amy Jacobson and that midget Dan Proft. And who do I get? I get Mr. Malaprop and vacation timeshare ownership from Orlando. But good morning, gentlemen.
Wait a minute. Am I Mr. Malaprop?
Yeah. Did you catch that?
Yes, you are.
What's the malapropism that I had, Mike? I want to be corrected by you. What was the malapropism? Mm-hmm. What? Name one.
Bruce, everything you say, your mind is like a shaker for dice. I mean, it just goes all over.
Well,
but let me
I
get
was
my
the only one
points
hearing
out.
There's
First,
no malapropisms when the dice is being shaken.
Let him get to his point.
Go ahead, Mike.
You're
Go ahead.
interrupting the caller.
Yes, go ahead.
First off, Mike Scott, I don't know where he went to school, but he should get his money back because there were over 30 people shot in Chicago. He's given a 20% discount to the city of Chicago. Try doing it on your property taxes. Second of all, it's Roosevelt Road, okay? Named after Teddy Roosevelt.
Wait a minute. I was
Roosevelt.
born on Roosevelt and Harding, so don't tell me what it was.
I thought it was
Go ahead,
Roosevelt.
Mike.
It's Roosevelt. Who was it named for? He should go back to St. Cloud, Minnesota. And second of all, if you want to know how this
talk about a guy that married ugly
new
women.
mayor's going to do,
Talk about a
you
guy
give
who's
her
shaking the
3
dice in his head right now. Go ahead, Mike. You're hopscotching like me, but you haven't had a malaprop yet. Go ahead, Mike.
If you want to know how this new mayor's going to do, give her 3 days. If she doesn't fire all these clowns that have been rigging contracts and the hiring, who all stayed on after the Zorich trial, then she's just part of the problem.
Thank you.
And,
no, you're right.
You know, Sean, I love you. Sean, I love you, but you got to get off my guy Trump. And I'm not a Krishna. This is the guy that gives agita to all the liberals.
You're right.
That's why I wear my Make America Great hat every time I go.
What does agita mean?
Kennedy.
What does
Agita means an
mean?
upset stomach. Come on.
Oh, thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. See, I learned
Little
something.
brioche would use to cure it, but now I don't even know if you could buy brioche
We
anymore.
love Mike. Hey, if you want to give us a call on the Turnkey.pro answer line at 312-642-5600, do it.
In a sidebar, to Mike's point, you know what's frightening? Is when you look at these freaks, these Marxists, Leninists, Trotskyites.
Fabian socialists.
No, these are hardcore. These are true believers.
Yeah.
These are fellow travelers, brother.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm talking about, that's why they're eating Biden, because your choices are going to be, unfortunately for us, the false economic pump and dump policies of Trump versus the all-out socialism. And I mean, you cannot point to one who is not an absolute and total Trotskyite. At least
it's frightening.
It truly is. And when you look at this,
and they're anti-Semitic.
Andrew Yang is the guy. Is my outside horse to watch because this son of a gun, he's pulling the card of $1,000 per citizen per month for everyone 18 and older. And the problem is what you've seen.
You know there are conservatives who believe in the universal basic income
it's
too.
Frightening.
Yeah,
it's
the
frightening.
left and the right meet together. I bet you Tucker Carlson, if you scratch hard enough, he believes in that too.
And here's the problem. And on a selfish note, you're already, you got 1 foot on a banana peel, one out the door. I mean, you're in about 70% of the listeners' death pool. I have a few years left. I do not want to live under a socialist
Let me ask you,
I don't want to be
Is
here
the
for
banana peel green or is it if it's yellow? Because if it's if it's yellow, if it's getting brown,
it's
I
khaki.
maybe have a slip and fall case against God.
Oh yeah, always looking for the angle.
He should have swept it up.
Yeah,
yeah.
Sue Bezos, or better yet, have my plan.
Did you hear about Bezos' wife?
Did I hear about it?
She
I'm
got
figuring out how to meet her. I got my hair all slicked back. I bought a new suit.
$70 million and says, "Oh, we're co-parenting."
$70 billion.
$70 billion. Excuse me. She, pretty soon you're talking about real money there.
That's enough money to pretend she's pretty. I'm in.
No, but I love how she, masks the whole thing. She gets dumped for a younger woman who lets her brother tell somebody so the Inquirer gets pictures of the guys of Bezos's junk. But she is talking, oh, we're going to be together. We're going to co-parent together. Is that the 21st century version of a Stepford wife who talks about co-parenting? Real parents don't talk about co-parenting.
No, you
There's
tough it
mom
out.
and dad.
You tough it out.
That
You
we're
hope
not
your wife doesn't move some
co-parents.
guy into your house.
Oh,
That's
my
what you
God.
try to do. That's why you stay married, baby.
Bezos' wife.
And here's the thing about a nice Italian wife. At this level of wealth, my wife would get it. I'd say, honey, listen, I love you to death. But $70 billion, are you nuts? I got everything covered. Don't worry about it. She'd be cheering.
Anyway, enough said about that. What do you want to talk about when we come back?
Let's talk about Buttigieg. Not just the fact that a homosexual is named Buttigieg, which I find fascinating in itself.
I would like to recuse myself from this conversation right now.
Me? The reality is Saturday Night Live skit.
Can we delete that from the record? I don't want that on the podcast.
Buttigieg.
All right, coming up, we will be talking about this guy who, he's horrible, Buttigieg. He was on one of the shows
yesterday.
He's a
child. I wouldn't let you drive my car. You want to run the country, you kid?
He's
Punk?
a Rhodes Scholar.
Sure he is.
But
who isn't?
But, and he tries to come off as moderate because he's moderate in tone.
And religious.
But he's just as radical as the worst of them.
And religious.
So I think we just dispensed with him. So we'll figure out something else to talk about when we come back. This is Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy on AM 560, The Answer.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
I'm Lou Dimes. President Trump proposes new drug penalties on Mexico. Employers creating trends in new jobs. Those stories next.
I remember feeling so desperate and so trapped. I was surrounded by family and friends that loved me. Any one of them would have listened to me, but I was so afraid of opening up to them, too embarrassed to talk about what was causing me so much pain. It felt like torture to be so close to people that would have loved to help me and yet too embarrassed to ask for help. And then, a few weeks ago, I heard about Faithful Counseling here on the radio. Christian counselors, fellow believers, trusted therapists who not only share my faith, but could actually help me. They want to give you a free week so you can try them out. You can begin a conversation by text or phone, even video conferencing, in the privacy of your own home. Why not give it a try? If it's not for you, cancel during your first week and you won't pay a dime. Go to tryfaithfulcounseling.com. It's time to talk to someone who can help. Go now to tryfaithfulcounseling.com. It's so easy to get started, and your first week is free. Go to tryfaithfulcounseling.com.
President Trump is looking into slapping Mexico with unspecified economic penalties until they help crack down on the crisis at our southern border. The president citing the crisis of drug trafficking along the entire U.S.-Mexico border. He wants Mexico to stop the drug cartels and violent gangs from sending narcotics over our border. Economists are noting trends in the current workforce. The healthcare field adding 49,000 new jobs, professional and business services 37,000, 27 jobs in restaurants and bars last month. Breaking down a few of the numbers in the 3.8% unemployment rate and last month's employment numbers. The healthcare field adding 49,000 new jobs, professional and business services adding 37,000, and restaurants and bars adding 27,000 last month. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 o'clock and 10 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Springtime is here, and maybe you're starting to get outside more. Maybe you're playing golf or getting all that springtime yard work done, and maybe you've noticed the next day that you're feeling a little more sore than you're used to. Or maybe your energy level has been low. You need to try Balance of Nature. You need your fruits and veggies, and you're not getting them in the fast food drive-thru lane, but you can get them in a single capsule from Balance of Nature. We're talking about 10 servings of 31 fruits and vegetables, all in a single capsule. You hear the testimonials, even testimonials on the air here, and let me tell you, they're all real. Dr. Douglas Howard, the creator of Balance of Nature, has shared the emails and voicemails with Dan and Amy of real people who've gotten healthy with Balance of Nature. And now, Dan and Amy are taking them too. And here's the deal you want to jump on. The price of fruits and vegetables is about to go up. But if you call or go online right now, you can lock in your price for the fruits and veggies for an entire year and get free shipping on every order. But you got to use the promo code Chicago when you call 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751, or go online to balanceofnature.com and use the promo code Chicago.
Someday someone you love will ask for help. And although Lake County Right to Life is not a crisis center, it is an educational and political organization involved in educating the public about current life issues and legislations. They take an active part in both the educational and lobbying aspects of the Right to Life movement. They formed the Lake County PAC to actively work in helping elect local Lake County candidates who are pro-life, pro-family legislators. These people support life-affirming legislation. Please help the cause. A crisis program center saves lives one at a time. Legislation saves thousands of lives. Lake County Right to Life supports women, mothers and fathers, unborn babies, families, and the elderly. Good public policy is supposed to protect the most vulnerable and does not impose on a taxpayer to pay for the lesser good, namely abortion. That takes everybody working together. For donations or information, visit lcrtl.org. That's lcrtl.org.
Another school year is about to wrap up, and you need to start thinking about what activities your son or daughter will be involved with during summer break. You want them to have fun this summer, but at the same time have some structure to be prepared for the next school year. Introduce them to St. John's Northwestern Experience in the beautiful Lake Country region of southeast Wisconsin with summer OPS, opportunities for personal success. 5 intensive weeks of learning and training. Young men and women grades 7 to 12 get an opportunity to advance academically in the structured and supportive environment of a military boarding school and at the same time be involved in an exciting summer adventure camp that inspires personal growth through a commitment to excellence in academics, leadership skills, spiritual and character development, and athletics and wellness. Camp St. John's Northwestern for your son or daughter with full boarding or day camp programs. Get more info at 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 1-800-SJ-CADET or online at sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org.
Hey, my friend's retail store was the victim of IoT password theft.
Yep. Cybercriminals are taking over security cameras, payment systems, and other IoT devices by exploiting vulnerabilities.
What if they target us and our dispersed network?
We're secured with Barracuda. We have advanced firewalls for our sites, enhanced security for our cloud infrastructure, and total email protection.
Such a relief.
Protect your business at Barracuda.com. Barracuda, your journey secured.
Let's think about customization presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Liberty Mutual customizes your auto insurance so you only pay for what you need. So why can't more things in life be customizable? Why can't I buy Neapolitan ice cream without strawberry? Can't I just have the chocolate and vanilla flavors I'm comfortable with? Do people even want a fruity ice cream flavor sandwiched right between the classics?
Go to libertymutual.com for a customized quote and you could save.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Equal housing insurer.
Is your parking lot an eyesore for you and your customers? Convenient and safe parking may be one of the most overlooked aspects of your business. You've neglected your parking lot for way too many years. It's falling apart and could be scaring business away. Pavement Solutions knows your parking lot takes a beating. With proper care, you can extend the life of your current lot with Pavement Solutions certified specialty blend called Gem Seal Black Diamond and Duramax. Yeah, it's a mouthful, but it's the best seal coat product in the industry. It'll protect your lot from sub-zero temperatures to a scorching 110-degree day and features an abrasive, non-slip coat for safety and durability. With Enduramax, your lot will have that brand new feel and look at a fraction of the price of a new lot. You and your customers will be safe and your business will look great. Call Pavement Solutions at 815-675-0696. That's 815-675-0696. And learn about getting 5% off and a free estimate for your next project. 815-675-0696.
AM 560.
The Answer. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. Sean, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention last night I'm flipping around on the channels. Last night I see Mark.
Last night. You went to bed at 5.
Well, it's true. Mark Levin is on, and he's interviewing Lara Logan, the former CBS correspondent, and she's on, and she's a very attractive woman. It was a very informative interview, but my favorite part was when she said, "Hey, my eyes are up here, fella." I mean, not that she was showing that much.
It was. Well, if you're sexually frustrated, last time you were on a date, the Beatles were on tour. What the hell do you know about an attractive woman?
I think they were no longer. They stopped touring in '65. So
exactly.
You're close.
Yeah, exactly. Come on. It's a narrow window.
So coming up after 7 o'clock, do you want to talk about Jim Nantz boycotting the NCAA finals tonight? Because Michael Avenatti says that Nike paid Zion Williamson, the big star of Duke, and Duke is looking into it right now. Corruption in college sports, but it's Avenatti saying
I'd rather talk about what a pretend gangster Avenatti is, how he tried to shake down Nike. And
he's not even good.
And that scumbag
he's an
partner of
embarrassment.
his. Guy's a walking libel.
He's a total embarrassment.
He's bankrupt. I mean, you want to talk about a scumbag. And here's what all you have to do is bash Trump, and you get coverage. That's the real story.
Ad nauseum. Let's go into the newsroom now with Mike Scott.
Cubs host the Pirates today in the home opener on the north side. Teenage girl goes missing. Police are looking on the south side. Man killed in a west side crash. 2 children among 6 shot in a Chicago mass shooting. Very warm today. More clouds than sun and a high of 72. WIND Chicago News Time is 7 o'clock.
Kirsten's out, Kevin's in.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump tweeted the change in Homeland Security. Then Kirstjen Nielsen resigned, with Kevin McAleenan taking over as acting secretary. He's the Commissioner of Customs and Border Protection. Republican Congressman Michael Burgess just told Fox.
Look, the border needs to be secured. That's the job of the Homeland Security Secretary. So I'm hopeful that the acting secretary will be able to lay that job up before the members of Congress, and we've got to get something done.
The Democratic House Speaker's reaction? Nancy Pelosi says it's deeply alarming the official who put children in cages is not extreme enough for the White House's liking. The IRS is on deadline to turn over President Trump's taxes.
The public has a right to know whether the president's interests are impacting the decisions that he makes.
That's Democratic Congressman Dan Kildee, as the House Ways and Means Committee uses authority granted by IRS tax code to get the returns. But the president's attorney, Jay Sekulow, also told ABC's This Week they're going too far.
If necessary. We're not at that point yet. If it has to be litigated, it'll be litigated.
One of the Democrats considering a run for president, Pete Buttigieg, told an LGBTQ event in Washington.
I can tell you that if me being gay was a choice, it was a choice that was made far, far above my pay grade.
Buttigieg, the mayor of South Bend, Indiana, added if Vice President Pence has a problem with him being gay, the quarrel is with God. An American woman kidnapped while on safari in Africa has been released. Fox's Tanya J. Powers has more live.
Dave, there are conflicting reports over whether Kim Endicott was rescued or released from her captors in Uganda. Ugandan police say the California woman and her Ugandan driver are both safe. They were taken from Queen Elizabeth National Park during an evening tour on April 2nd and ended up across the border in Congo. The kidnappers had demanded $500,000 ransom, and while police say no ransom was paid, an official with that tour group, Wild Frontier Uganda Safaris, says money was paid to get her back, making it a release, not a rescue, Dave.
This is Fox News.
Skies are clear. We have sunshine this morning. 52 degrees at 7:02 on AM 560 The Answer, and good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Cubs face the Pirates today at Wrigley in the home opener. John Lester hoping to shake off a not-so-good weekend up in Milwaukee. No one in custody following a mass shooting over the weekend that wounded 2 children and 4 adults on the south side. Dennis Tabb witnessed that shooting.
People were standing out and some guys just came around and started shooting indiscriminately.
Victims were shot Saturday night at a baby shower near 63rd and Sealy. Chicago's coming off an extremely violent weekend. 4 were killed, over 24 more were wounded in shootings since Friday afternoon. In one of her first acts, Mayor-elect Lori Lightfoot is urging the City Council to slow down the Lincoln Yards development. Comes as the City Council Finance Committee moves forward on 2 new tax increment financing districts. One, a TIF for the Lincoln Yards project. One, a $7 billion vision for a mixed-use campus known as the 78 between Roosevelt Road and Chinatown. A man is dead following a one-vehicle crash on Chicago's west side. It happened in the 4600 block of West Roosevelt Road. 2 are dead following a fiery crash in South Chicago Heights. The vehicle was traveling Saturday night when it lost control, hit 2 light poles and a concrete sign base. Authorities are investigating the cause of a fire that killed a woman over the weekend in Griffith, Indiana. The blaze broke out in the Crestview apartment homes. Deborah Clark Whitted died in a nearby hospital after being rescued. Christian Yelich, a 2-run home run. Brewers double up the Cubs 4-2. Mariners over the White Sox 12-5 at the rate. Sox host the Rays later today. The news service of Accountemps. Payroll, bookkeeping, month end. Are you feeling short-staffed? Accountemps can provide accounting and finance professionals on a temporary or project basis when you need them to help with increased workloads. Call them today or visit Accountemps.com. Accountemps is a Robert Half company. 7:04, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
This is Dr. Howard, founder and formulator of Balance of Nature. We're changing America, one life at a time.
I've probably been on it 2 years now, and it's been, honestly, a godsend. After you're on it for a while, you tend to forget the aches and pains and things that was going on in your body and your life before you started taking Balance of Nature. I get up, I go up and down the stairs, no pain. Hey, you know what? Thank goodness for Balance of Nature.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself by using discount code CHICAGO.
The price of fruits and vegetables is going up. Call now to see how you can lock in your price of fruits and vegetables for an entire year and get free shipping on every order. Call 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
All money managers might seem the same, but while some give their clients cookie-cutter portfolios, Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to your goals and needs. Some only call when they have something to sell. Fisher calls regularly, so you stay informed. And while some advisors are happy to earn commissions whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come from other money managers. So if you're in or nearing retirement, talk with us and find out why investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Jim Keene Jr. of the Mail House, Inc., a family-owned and operated digital print mail house with a specialty in political advertising and a customer of Signature Bank. We knew that getting a loan to buy our business wouldn't be easy, so we turned to one of our trusted friends for a referral. She told us about the outstanding level of customer service her business received at Signature Bank since becoming one of their first customers in 2006. Today, we couldn't be happier. Not only did Signature help us finance the purchase of the mail house, but they supported our growth as we modernized our operations in mailing as well as from traditional to digital printing. If you're looking for a great bank to grow your business, take a look at Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You work hard. You know what it takes to succeed. Now it's time to put your experience to work and launch your business. For a limited time, Express Employment Professionals will give you $25,000 to open your franchise. Get to know Express. Visit expressfranchising.com today.
7:07. And a check on your morning ride to work this Monday in the AM 560 Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
In Hanover Park, traffic lights are out at Lake Street at Barrington Road. Expect delays. Consider an alternate around Batavia High School this morning. There's a heavy police presence for an active investigation. Kennedy Expressway inbound delays start right around O'Hare. It's 42 minutes from the airport to downtown. 19 from Montrose, 17 in the Express. Edens, 25 minutes, Lake Hook to Junction, Eisenhower. 55 minutes, 390 to downtown. 40 from Manheim. Stevenson, 55 minutes, 355 to the Drive. Ryan at 42 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, Bishop Ford, both 18 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Eastbound Reagan Tollway has a jam, 355 before the Tri-State. It's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center, here's our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
Today warm, more clouds than sun with a high 72. It'll be partly cloudy tonight, low 46. Breezy tomorrow, intervals of clouds and sun, the high 62. Rain and breezy cooler on Wednesday, high only 42. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
54 at O'Hare. We have mostly sunny skies. Next news, 7:30. Breaking news as it happens. With Dan and Amy and listeners in Mexico, Chicago's Morning Answer continues next with Bruce and Sean on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Secure Retirement Radio with host Raj Shah. Sunday mornings at 7 on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Ding, 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 ding. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy, and I love all the tomfoolery that we do, but it was, as we just heard Jim Telemonte mention, and Mike Scott gave us the word as well, that Batavia police are responding to a report of an unknown male subject with a rifle entering Batavia High School.
Can you imagine? Your heart goes out to the parents, Mike.
Oh, it's very, very scary.
Stress your own.
And I warned you that you can't joke about stuff like that. Although the TV
I'm
show,
a father of
no, me
high school
too, me
kids.
too. That's the scariest thing.
Yeah.
The TV show Veep. Have you ever seen it? I've only
No.
seen a couple of episodes. It's kind of
She's
like
Elaine Bennis, and that's all she'll ever be.
Sure, but Kyle Smith in National Review had a great review of Veep, and he says it's basically the anti-West Wing. West Wing was idealistic. Veep is all cynical. So they talk about a school shooting, but it's all cynical politicians trying to see how they're supposed to play it. It's all for their own advantage. But that's all. That's as close as we can get to talking.
I said
that
nothing
way about it.
for all
You
of the
didn't.
management
I
at
just,
Salem.
No, I just no.
I said
And so
nothing.
we'll keep on top of it. If anything happens, Mike will break in, and we'll talk about that. We don't really know any more about this. The police, again, in Batavia, are responding to a report of an unknown male subject with a rifle entering Batavia High School. Anyway, you did want to talk about Trump's tax returns, which apparently is the cause celeb right now. I never care about it. See, I don't care what Trump does, because to me, Trump is reparations for Clinton and Obama. So I don't care what I'm not saying there is nothing that would stop me from voting for him again, but
I wanted
you'd
to
have
talk
to go pretty far. Certainly.
about the mindset of politicians,
Yeah.
and the way in which they present the superiority. Superiority.
Yeah,
My word.
right.
I couldn't get that out. You know what? It was awful early when I got up this morning.
Yeah.
Over your rights, and the idea that they feel entitled enough or with enough control to demand to see someone's tax returns and then use that as a weapon against them should send a shiver up the spine of every citizen.
Now, this is traditional, though, that people, although John F. Kennedy didn't divulge his tax returns.
Let me ask you something.
Don't you want to know what I'm playing the devil's advocate now, because I agree with you on this, but don't you want to know what they're involved in case they are violating the emoluments clause?
What I'd like to see is why this is more relevant than someone whose spouse is a lobbyist, like Dick Durbin. I want to see those
Sack of Durbin.
I want to see his wife's. I want to see Dianne Feinstein's husband, Richard Bloom. I want to see the corruption by proxy we have allowed these scoundrels to commit for decades, all the way
But those
from
are all
LBJ.
Democrats, and Democrats are exempt from this.
I'll do Republicans too.
Yeah.
Do you think I'm any more comfortable with old lady face Mitch McConnell and how he has amassed a fortune since Zanzibar's were in style?
Did you see
He's done
that
nothing in real life?
They made
except
fun
politics.
of Mitch McConnell, how he was tripping up the stairs somewhere. He had polio.
Really?
Yeah, but I don't know that when they were making fun of it, if they knew that
Still
he had
doesn't explain the
polio.
women facial features he's morphed into. I also want to see Mark Kirk, Illinois' very own, who is now a very successful lobbyist, and he gets to park close to the door. I want to see his tax returns.
Yeah, exactly.
I
He
don't
parks
care.
close to the door.
I want to see it all. If it's good for the goose, then it's good for
Let the record
gander.
show that Sean Thompson made a stroke joke about Mark Kirk right now.
Well,
I'm going to walk out
I
of
never
this.
liked
I'm
you,
going to
Mark
walk
Kirk.
out of this studio at 9 a.m.
No, and I'll tell you another
I
thing.
swear.
Here's the other thing. We have now politicians who work as lobbyists for gaming houses in Illinois. We have politicians whose brothers are lobbyists with medical marijuana dispensaries. So if we're going to go after a guy who never really was in politics other than paying them off a la Rahm Emanuel, let's go after the actual politicians who have used their office as a weapon. And I don't just mean the 50 fake aldermen in Chicago. I'm talking about coast to coast, baby.
I agree. Look, I view what Rahm Emanuel did, which was perfectly legal. He got the vigorish on a deal between Bruce Rauner, name sound familiar, and Bill Daley, who was the head of AT&T at the time, when they had some sort of merger. He got like $14 million. Totally kosher for Passover even. And that's fine. And you can sashay in and out of government like Rahm Emanuel does. And meanwhile, my husband, Rod Blagojevich, is in jail for 14 years. Yes, this is a statement on behalf of Patty.
Pritzker's name is littered through the Panama Papers. Littered. His grandfather was the original Cayman Island tax shill. Let's get it all on the table. Not that it's going to make a difference here in Illinois, because no matter what the socialist is caught with, he will be reelected.
Speak of the devil. Do you think that Pritzker actually broke that toilet by sitting on it?
I think it's possible. I think he can turn a toilet into a thimble with one squat. That's what I think he can do.
Has anybody ever made that joke before? It seems like a natural, but I just thought of it.
The idea that this walking joke of a physical specimen can regulate how we take care of ourselves is so preposterous to me. Such an
a
abuse.
Graduated income tax, which it's always the come on. It's the gateway drug to taxing the middle class.
Listen, a graduated income tax by a guy who's a trust fund baby, who's never had an income. He doesn't pay the tax. Every dollar he makes is through a capital gain, through a distribution in which he doesn't need. It's easy to penalize people.
We'll tax the pennies on your eyes.
You penalize the working man. In a city where to take your family of four to a Hawks game is $3,000. Now, if you make over $250, you're going to pay X amount of tax.
That's $250,000.
I mean,
how much is it? The Hawks. Somebody just mentioned to me, because I didn't watch one game this year. I think I watched about 4 minutes on TV. The season ended yesterday. I think they're not making the playoffs again. And yet, if you went to a Hawks game this year, how much would it set you back to go to a Hawks game?
It depends where you sit, but you could easily pay for a family of four. You could easily pay $3,000.
The last
by the time,
not $3,000.
Of course it is. From seats to the time you leave the stadium. From the time you leave the stadium.
Last time I was there, I was with friends. If
you want to sit,
there was like a lobster BLT that they
how
sell.
do you go? That's how I go.
$17 for a lobster BLT.
I mooched off Hochberg. He invited me.
I
took my
Hochberg
wife
too.
and everything.
Hochberg took me to a game.
Yeah. So I feel.
And I didn't even do a mortgage with him. It was great.
But I always say one of the most honest, if not the most honest mortgage guys around. He really is.
I love David Hochberg.
Yeah, and he's a sucker.
Let's just do a gratuitous spot for him right now.
There you go.
If
David
you
Hochberg.
want help for
your mortgage,
don't call Friendly Bob Adams at Andover 32020.
I want him
for
to
General
tell me,
Finance.
though,
Call David Hochberg.
I have a belief that those things they take advantage of old people with, those where they
reverse mortgages.
Oh, buddy, I don't like that. Don't like the sound of that.
Next thing you're going to tell me is that I shouldn't listen to William Devane and buy gold right now.
It reminds me when they used to, and I would argue with management every once in a while. They would have those slip and fall lawyers on that would tell you how.
Be careful. I do that for a living.
How
now.
you are a slip.
That's
and fall
what I
lawyer.
do.
How people are entitled
to
file a bankruptcy or ask for a principal reduction. What a word salad that is. What do you mean principal reduction on your home?
Don't you believe people are entitled to recovery if
there's a spill?
Absolutely
not.
If there's a spill in aisle 4 that nobody cleaned up, and then the person walks along there and wasn't expecting it, do you expect people to be like Snoopy dogs and look down at the ground all the time?
All I know is I got a retail business. You slip and fall in there, you'll get dragged in the alley. Your problems just begin at the slip and fall. Scoundrels.
I'd like to see how your insurance carrier feels about
He's
what
very
you do.
comfortable with me enforcing the rules.
Our telephone number on the turnkey.pro answer line is 312-642-5600. This gentleman has been waiting quite a while. John, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, guys. So first of all, the Beatles stopped touring in '66. But,
sorry,
Sean. I love these principal guys like you, who don't vote for anybody.
That's
in a
Sean.
State that it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Sean, right?
Yeah,
right.
I also do the
In a
same
state
thing
where it
in my.
doesn't mean anything.
Sean was never a Trumper. He didn't vote for Trump or anybody else. But go ahead, John. Yeah.
Exactly. Good thing he didn't live in Indiana or Ohio or Wisconsin, where his non-vote would have been a vote for Hillary.
Listen, I understand.
Love guys like you.
I understand
I
the
agree.
point, John.
I concur,
but
John.
guys
Thank
like
you so much.
are the ones who lose the ability to criticize the soiree we're in, the corruption we're in, because you sit idly by and you pick the worst of the two, and you cry when a guy like who's the guy who looks like Kazoo just lost? Peter Roscom, the fraud that he is.
Wait a minute, Peter Roscom was very good.
He's a scumbag, another trust fund baby,
Peter,
who rubber-stamped TARP, every spending bill, every growth by the so-called Republicans. He's the reason you got this other fraud from the green energy deal, Sean Casten.
And you know who my representative is right now?
Which scumbag?
It's the 32-year-old nurse who never practiced nursing and lives with her parents.
There you go. Well, it's guys like this, because if they had a principled opposition, these frauds could never win.
No.
But you have to throw out the other version of a fraud.
You got to be a little pragmatic.
No. You have principles or you don't.
Do you know
the idea you rubber stamp these scumbags and then pretend to be outraged at the ramification makes you the useful idiot.
I'm almost
John.
tempted to call you a Pharisee except, I'm Jewish and I kind of like the Pharisees. But, I mean, you're such a purist.
Absolutely.
It's ridiculous.
There's only one right and one wrong. Sorry, it's just the way it is.
You have a Manichaean view of the world. Everything's black and white to you. Sometimes you have to make difficult choices. And sometimes
those are within.
Look, everybody loves something about Donald Trump, but hates himself for it. He's done many, many bad things. He's bombastic. He doesn't speak accurately, and there's a lot of problems with him. But fortunately, we got people like Pompeo and Bolton and others that keep him in line, and we got a couple of Supreme Court justices.
You can make difficult choices and compromises of your principles when it comes to people you love. Right? Socialism only really exists in your house. And you can make the compensation for a child is not telling you the truth, but you choose to believe her. You can pick the lesser of two evils in people you love, not in representation, because you are giving them a pass for the corruption they practice.
Speaking of passes, coming up after the break, R. Kelly asked the media to take it easy on him for the Springfield event that he was at yesterday, and I did because I was promised a backstage pass.
I'll tell you what. I say we put a grass skirt on Jussie Smollett and put him in a cell with R. Kelly and see what happens.
Bruce Wolf and Dan Proft are no longer in existence together. Okay, that was the first brain cramp of the day. That's pretty good. I last till 7:21.
Well,
I think I'm on the big 89 right now. I'm on the little
Viagra,
560 AM.
Yeah, 10 years of Viagra and Geritol will have repercussions.
With Sean Thompson.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Message and data rates may apply.
Ladies and gentlemen, this may be the last time you ever have to worry about hair loss. Because Bosley is the real deal. They're giving women and men their hair back permanently. Their real hair. All it takes to get started is a single text message. You'll get an absolutely free information kit and a free gift card when you text TRUST to 85850. Bosley will show you, for free, how great your hair could look. You'll also see, for free, why you're losing hair and how to get it back. Women and men all over the country trust Bosley because they're America's #1 hair restoration expert, ahead of the curve with the latest technology. And the best part? Bosley has permanent solutions to hair loss. You'll love what they'll do for your hair. So drop what you're doing long enough to send a text. Get your free information kit and gift card for $250 off by texting TRUST to 85850. Don't forget, that's TRUST to 85850.
Do you want your basement to be dry most of the time? If so, Permaseal is not the company for you. Permaseal hears story after story of homeowners who say their basement only leaks when it rains. Well, you don't want your living room or bedroom getting wet, do you? Then why do you settle for a wet basement? For over 40 years, the Permaseal team believes your basement should be dry no matter how hard it rains. That's right. You can have a permanently dry basement. Just give them a call at 800-421-SEAL. They offer a free estimate, no haggle pricing, and a price assurance guarantee so you can rest assured that you're getting the best value. Roy Spencer started Permaseal back in 1979, and it's still a local Chicagoland family business doing the right thing and standing behind their work. Your basement is already dry most of the time, but if you want your basement dry all of the time, you know who to call, Permaseal, at 800-421-SEAL. That's 800-421-7325 or permaseal.net.
What would you be willing to spend to make an often frustrating aspect of your business run smoothly, perfect, hassle-free? Yep, talking about IT, networks, computers. Sure, it would be great to hire an entire IT department, but that would be expensive. There's salaries, benefits, space for new employees, equipment. Nope, not gonna happen. Or could it? For only $7.95 a month, you can make your IT issue a thing of the past with Turnkey IT. Just like your own in-house IT department, but better. Turnkey makes it happen. They make it secure, and they make it smart. You'll be set up for success and in front of the many technical issues that can overwhelm a business. Turnkey becomes your IT department and help with all your daily IT issues, plus preventative steps to keep your business going. Have Turnkey do a complimentary network audit of your systems, even if you have a current IT company, so you know where you stand with your technology.
Leave the technical stuff to the pros, so you can focus on the important things. Visit turnkey.pro today. Turnkey.pro.
Feeling sore from working out hard, maybe doing some spring cleaning, or do you want to boost your immune system? Well, if either of those interest you, then you should try Balance of Nature. It is 10 servings of 31 different fruits and veggies, all in a single capsule. No preservatives, no dyes. And you hear the testimonials here on the air all the time. And let me tell you, they are real. Okay, folks? And the price of fruits and veggies is about to go up. But if you call or go online right now, you can lock in your price for the fruits and vegetables for an entire year and get free shipping on every order. But you've got to use the promo code Chicago. Use that when you call. And the number there is 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
AM 560. The Answer.
Wow. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. And
so what kind of law do you practice, seeing how I may need a lawyer after the show?
I work for a really nice, good personal injury firm. Personal injury firm. They do a lot of medical malpractice, other kinds of cases, personal injury cases. What's great is I work with people that are 20 and 30 years younger than I am who know more than I do. Because if I were still in the if I were still in the news business, it was just still like working like at a TV station, I'd be working with people who are 20 and 30 years my junior, but they would ride herd. And
would you put all your money in Senka? How'd you end up in this position?
They would boss me around, and I'd want to blow up because I know more than they do.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I was talking to a friend of mine. We were both at the Merc and making fun of each other yesterday. I was thinking about it. I've never worked for anybody. I don't know how people do it.
It's difficult.
Are you nuts? I got to be bossed around by this morphodite with the ugly wife. You married an ugly woman. You're giving me orders? I may have a lot of shortcomings, but I picked way above my
I have a kid who's had some problems with employers, and he always wants to go to the district manager. The guy, it's kind of like the Jews always used to say in Russia, if only the Tsar knew.
Yeah.
The Tsar doesn't care about you, and the district manager doesn't care about you. It's tough to work for people.
I got a cousin that punched every boss he had in the face. So finally, he had to go into business. And you know what happened?
Yeah.
He became a very successful guy.
He found his niche.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes. Well, it's a little late for me. I mean, I'm just, riding out the last few years here.
Sure. Who are you telling? I'm watching it in front of me. I don't think you make it till Wednesday.
This is my vacation, and I'm spending it with you, Sean.
Yeah.
You buy sell people their vacation homes in Florida. My vacation home is in some little studio in Elk Grove Village right now.
Sad
with you.
story, kid.
By the way, that's where we're celebrating the Cub opener today, here in beautiful downtown Elk Grove Village.
Yeah. I always, every time I see them on TV in their little costumes, I want to give them candy. It's like trick or treat. Everybody ready to hit the ball? God, I can't stand it.
You know what's the worst thing is we were talking about the Blackhawks before, is people wearing jerseys of the teams. I remember when I would go to the Blackhawk games. This is with my dad. Like in the early 1970s, there would be two guys with mullet heads. Of course, the only two guys in the stadium who would be wearing Al Secord jerseys. And I was thinking, you guys think you're on the team? Well, now everybody wears a jersey all the time. Everybody thinks they're on the team. I would never be caught dead in a jersey of a team.
How about the 80-year-old manager? They make him wear a costume.
Oh, really?
Are you nuts? I really got to look at these old men dressed up like that. It's preposterous
no, they should
to me.
Be wearing a sweatsuit.
At least basketball, they let the guys wear suits.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No,
it's grown men, for God's
sakes. It's ridiculous. Like you're on the team.
I
remember there's a sports reporter named Bruce Levine who's on one of the sports stations. I was with him at spring training when Michael Jordan was trying out for the White Sox back in the day.
A lot of Levines as reporters, not too many players, though.
I was
right,
exactly. Here's a book of Jewish athletic heroes.
Yeah, pamphlet, more like it.
So, pardon my airplane. So I'm standing with him. All of a sudden, there's a wad of tobacco being spat right at my feet. He thought he was one of the players. He thought it was Nellie Fox. He had a chaw of tobacco in his mouth.
Yeah.
He's a good reporter and everything like that, but I think he took it a little too seriously.
Sure he is.
Yeah. Sure he is. No, he was good.
What about the guy dressed like the Bronx Tale? I know Wolf doesn't get Prof doesn't get along with him.
Who?
The guy who dressed like an extra from the Bronx Tale. Gian Greco? All dolled up. His cartoon
Dan
character.
Prof's finest moment in the last 45 years is when he got Mark Giangreco suspended for 2 weeks because Giangreco called Trump voters simpletons. He tweeted that, and Dan made a big deal about it. And Channel 7's management, nervous Nellies that they are, took him off the air for 2 weeks.
Plus, you come to find out that Giangreco's brother is a two-bit lobbyist as well.
Oh, we knew that.
I didn't know that.
Oh, no, he's a Democratic apologist. Oh, he's horrible.
I'll tell you what, Chicago, baby.
He's
you're
a
either in on
troglodyte.
the scam or you're too stupid to see it. It's a joke.
He's terrible. And Mark pretends to be irreverent. Meanwhile, he'll suck up to Theo Epstein as much as anybody else.
Him and the other great guy, that guy on Fox, athletic. The most
Jimmy
athletic
the
thing
Greek?
he does is jump in the chair. The little short guy with the pretend beard now. He looks like a chia pet. The sports announcer.
On Fox?
Yeah.
Oh, Lou Canella.
There you go.
Lou used to work for me. He's
Sure,
a friend of
that
mine.
explains it.
Yeah, you got to mention these guys ahead of time. There's a short list of people that you can make fun of.
I make fun of everybody. Just stand in line. It's what I do, baby.
All right, coming up after 7:30, what do you want to talk about?
Talk about your workout regime and how you got those man boobs. What do you want to talk about?
Thank you. I appreciate that so much. Let's talk about the Cubs being mathematically eliminated before the home
more
opener.
sports.
Okay.
We got a
All right,
plethora of atrocities.
No, Adam Schiff changing the goalposts, moving the goalposts. That's what we'll talk
His
about.
head looks like
now,
a golf
collusion
ball
is-
on a
yeah.
tee.
We'll talk about that coming up after the news with Mike Scott.
Skies are clear, 52 degrees. And as Bruce and Sean have been telling you this morning, we're watching a situation in Batavia this morning where police have responded to an unconfirmed report of a male with a rifle entering Batavia High School. Now, Batavia police say they received that call around 6:15 this morning. Officers investigating, but have not confirmed there is an actual gunman at this point. Batavia police say units are on the scene. It's part of a community alert. It's been posted to the city's website and the school's website at around 6:30 when information started breaking in this story. Due to police activity there in Batavia High School, no one is being allowed in the building, so that means all buses are not operating to Batavia High School at this point. If your child has already been picked up by a bus, they will be returned home. And again, as always in these situations, they're urging parents not to go to the school. Again, if your child has been picked up by a bus, they will be returned home. All other schools in the area are in session with bus service for the moment. Cubs take on the Pirates at Wrigley Field for the home opener. John Lester looking to right the club after a lost weekend in Milwaukee. Other news we're following this morning, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he will annex part of the occupied West Bank if he is reelected. The election is Tuesday, and Netanyahu is continuing a push to pick up right-wing voters. Bank of America's Securities, formerly Bank of America Merrill Lynch, is lowering its outlook on Boeing this morning as the airplane maker struggles with fallout from problems from its 737 MAX aircraft. Chicago coming off a violent weekend. 4 were killed, 24 more wounded in shootings. There was a mass shooting over the weekend that wounded 2 children and 4 adults on the south side.
Some guys just came around and started shooting indiscriminately.
Victims were shot Saturday night during a baby shower near 63rd and Sealy. Illinois raising the age for people to legally buy tobacco.
I just have one message to the tobacco companies. Our kids are not part of your profit margin. Keep your hands off of them.
Outgoing Mayor Rahm Emanuel and Governor J.B. Pritzker signed that measure into law yesterday. Police chiefs at several Illinois higher education institutions say a bill would ban colleges from asking applicants about their criminal history would hurt campus safety efforts. State Representative Mary Flowers says she sponsored the Criminal History and College Applications Act because everybody deserves a second chance. Critics, including hundreds of parents, say a ban creates a substantial obstacle to ensuring the safety of students, faculty, and staff on every college campus. Brewers doubled up the Cubs Sunday 4-2. Mariners over the White Sox 12-5. The News is a service of Accountemps. When you could use help closing your books and need additional staff, it's time to call Accountemps. They can provide you with bookkeepers and other accounting and finance professionals on a temporary or project basis. Accountemps, a Robert Half company. 7:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Do you own or run a thriving business in the Chicagoland area? Have you overcome obstacles to make your business what it is today? If that's your business, then AM 560 wants to tell your story on the AM 560 Business Tour, presented by Signature Bank. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson will be broadcasting live from businesses all around Chicagoland, telling success stories of thriving, successful businesses. Hey, if that's you, tell us about it. Visit 560theanswer.com/business business and submit your information. That's 560theanswer.com/business.
Hey guys, Ken here from the hit podcast Today's Growth. Who would win a 3-mile bicycle race, an 11-year-old girl or last year's winner of the Tour de France? It all depends on the bicycle. It depends on their vehicle. Both on a 10-speed and the pro racer is going to win every time. But put the racer on a tricycle and the 11-year-old wins every time. You see, it's not the driver, it's the vehicle. When it comes to generating revenue, it's exactly the same. If you have a job or a small business, you are riding a tricycle. You can only go so fast. If you need to make up lost ground, it's not going to happen on a tricycle. No matter how fast you pedal, it's simply not going to win the race. Why do many people with no schooling and no advanced degree often become very wealthy? Simple. They choose to only ride 10 speeds. When it comes to helping people create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss when it comes to putting people on a 10-speed. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
Sometimes when it rains, it pours right into your basement. This is Gus from Chicagoland Waterproofing. My mission is to identify why your home is taking on water and fix it. I want you to sleep at night during a rainstorm and not worry about your basement filling up with water. Like our client from Mount Prospect.
We decided to refinish our basement and wanted to put in new flooring, but we've always had a seepage problem. I heard Chicagoland Waterproofing on the radio and had to call. Gus came to our home and identified the problem immediately, explained a solution which involved 60 feet of interior trenching along the foundation. His guys were on time, professional, and cleaned up when they were done. Our refinished basement is 100% dry. Dry as a bone. Great experience. In Gus, we trust.
From simple sump pumps to complex storm drainage and crack foundation solutions, Chicagoland Waterproofing's work comes with a lifetime warranty. Plus, a fully licensed plumber is always on staff. Request your estimate today at ChicagolandWaterproofingPros.com or call 847-296-3500. Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
7:36. And an update on the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
In Batavia this morning, there is a heavy police presence around Batavia High School. At this point, major roads in that area are still open. That could change at any time. Edens runs 24 minutes, Lake Cook Junction. Kennedy, 53 minutes now. O'Hare to downtown. 26 from Montrose, 27 on the Express. Have delays on 190 in both directions. Eisenhower, 55 minutes, 390 to downtown, 41 from Manheim. Stevenson, an hour, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. The Ryan is half an hour, 95 to downtown. I-57, 21 minutes, side east to the merge, Bishop 427. Eastbound Reagan Tollway has a jam from 355 before the Tri-State after a crash. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center, a warm day ahead. More clouds than sun, high 72, partly cloudy and 46 overnight. Breezy tomorrow, clouds and sunshine with a high of 62. Currently 54. Next news coming up at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next with Bruce and Sean taking over while Dan and Amy are in Mexico on AM 560 The Answer.
Don't miss the online auction in Elk Grove Village, featuring hundreds of lots of tooling, forklifts, maintenance, and shop support equipment. Ends this Wednesday and Thursday. Bid online at hilcoind.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer
We have new information now also on the plane crash.
on AM 560.
Captain Sum Ting Wong, Wee Tu Lo, Ho Li Fook, and Bang Ding Ow.
The Answer.
Great. They will read anything.
Some of it's almost as good as Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. The day Art Norman, and I love Art Norman at Channel 5. He was so great, so supportive when I worked there. But he said, he reported on the air, Mother Teresa has been killed. And the woman anchor who went on to great heights at CNN, and whose name, Robin Meade, I believe it was, she said, Art, I think, no, that's not, she tried to paper over the whole thing. A producer got in Art's ear and said, kill the Mother Teresa story that they were going to do. He thought Mother Teresa had been murdered. And so, things happen like that.
But I'd like them
Who has not made a mistake on
I'd
the
like
radio.
them to react to what it is they're reporting, other than waiting to say Chicago proud. I think that would actually help society if they were to read the story about the 2 children and the 6 people shot at the baby shower with absolute contempt and disgust, and then look at the camera and say, how could you possibly keep this quiet? How could you people that know who this is keep your mouth shut? Have you no soul?
Well, Lori Lightfoot's going to get everybody to come out and testify right now.
Rather than watching how they age under high-def TV.
We should report, Batavia police, we've been reporting on this, are responding to a report of an unknown male subject with a rifle entering Batavia High School. Mike Scott says that as of a few minutes ago, nobody had found anybody. The police hadn't found anyone in Batavia High School, but the school remains on lockdown. We will keep you abreast of the situation. Give us a call at 312-642-5600. I'm such a softie, Sean, that I'm going to take Dan's call right now because he's been waiting patiently on the line from
That's
McHenry.
what got me started.
Good morning, Dan.
Hey, guys. How you doing this morning?
Very good.
So, I got to say, it's nice having you guys on here together because you're both, like, equally ADD, so it's, like, just
Thank you.
organized chaos.
Thank you.
It's great.
Also the name of my boat, Organized Chaos. Go ahead.
Yes, Dan.
And secondly, I would say that, Sean, you should always vote, especially at the federal level, for the lesser of 2 evils because it's your only way to slow down the socialist machine. It's the only way we have left, other than revolution. Which
So,
is
Dan,
not gonna happen.
I'm going to let you talk, but let me ask you a question, okay? And this is very relevant because it just happened. So your argument is you should always vote because it's the lesser of 2 evils. And I understand that. I've heard it my whole life. Now, one of the biggest problems I find is always about the economy and money. So Friday, Donald Trump came out and said we need more quantitative easing and low interest rates, which is the exact foundation of Obamonomics, which also means he openly supported the exact thing that I disagreed with, the bailout of the very scum that broke the system. So where are we getting the so-called lesser of 2 evils? The fact that you're arguing against socialism, and I understand that argument, but you're telling me you don't mind us getting there. You just want to do it at a slow speed, and that fries me. You follow me?
Dan, go ahead.
I get it, Sean. I don't want us to ever get there, but, you know, I think at this point, this country's kind of in a slow death spiral, and I'm hoping that's not the case. But, you know, Donald Trump's done a lot of good on the other side socially against socialism. Now, maybe economically he's an idiot, it sounds like, on some of these issues. But definitely the Supreme Court justices we got are going to slow down, you know, the Constitution being destroyed.
Dan, the answer is always but Gorsuch, but Kavanaugh. Thanks so much, Dan. Appreciate it. You know, the thing is and a lot of the never-Trumpers, I remember them before the election, they were afraid, and with good reason, that Trump was going to renege on his promise to put Supreme Court conservative justices on the Supreme Court. He got us not only 1, he got us 2, and if you believe some of the conspiracy theorists, Ruth Bader Ginsburg is dead.
Put me in that column. I haven't seen her. She's taped to a chair by Perkins. Listen.
So he has come through on a lot of the stuff that we didn't believe he would, so I'm kind of happy with him.
Who put the death nail in American liberty when it came to the judgment on Obamacare? Who did it? What was his name? Say it. Say it. No. John Roberts. And who put him in there? Say it. Say it. George Bush, who drives the death.
But the problem is it's death knell, not death nail.
I say nail.
But
I'm from Melrose Park.
You know,
here's
no
the
problem
thing.
with it.
The problem.
It sounds good.
Who destroys your liberty isn't your opponent. You know who they are. It is the saboteur that destroys you.
Have you heard that Kavanaugh and John Roberts apparently on some of these decisions right now are kind of wussing out? We fought for Kavanaugh. I'm ready to believe Christine Blasey Ford right now. Let's have a recall.
You're a lawyer.
You're
a lawyer, and I get it. But somewhere in you is the love of the actual law that understands 5 justices or 9 or whatever number you want to pack it with do not really get to take my rights away. They can impugn them, and they can usurp them, and they can bastardize them, but they can't really take them away. And the problem is we don't fight for them. So all of these arguments we have are because we compromised and took the adage, lesser of two evils.
Look.
Sorry, it's just the reality.
I don't know what you said, but it sounded good to me. Here's the thing. I hated when Anthony Kennedy got to be the High Sparrow. Speaking of which, will you be watching Game of Thrones next Sunday?
I actually love it. I put it off for years. I didn't watch it for years.
What did you binge?
I binged it.
When?
And it was one
Recently?
Sunday night. It was about a year and a half
One Sunday
ago.
night. It takes like 45 hours
I have
to
a
get through it.
3-season room. It was fall. I'm out on the back porch. Thank God I had more than one cigar. I powered it out to where I did it in 2.5 days.
What's your favorite moment of Game of Thrones?
I like when the blonde chick takes her clothes off all the time and forever with the dragons.
Daenerys you know what the problem was?
And I
what
like
you're going to have to think about right now, and now this is sounding like the man show, but if Adam Carolla and Jimmy Kimmel aren't going to do it anymore, we'll just step into the breach, so to speak. Do you know that she's had 2 brain aneurysms? That's what you're going to have to think about when you think.
I don't have to think about it. I enjoy her on TV. I'm not married to her.
Now,
thank
I
God.
thought you were going to say your favorite moment was the 4-minute and 58-second walk of shame that Cersei
Did like it. I do find her
Now, how would I know
lovely.
that it was 4 minutes and 58 seconds? I don't know.
I find
I just do know that. Yes.
I do find her lovely. But here's the thing about us hiding from the fact that we're rabid heterosexuals. You know how you stop it? You say you're a practicing lesbian. Ta-da! Now what are you going to do? I'm transgendering. I use the girls' bathroom at Starbucks, and I'm a lesbian. What do you got against me?
Speaking of Lori Lightfoot, I just who's openly gay, and some people are saying, why do you have to say she's openly? You don't have to do it anymore.
As opposed to Hassert?
Well, it's
as opposed to Hassert, I prefer Lightfoot over Hassert.
Well, yes.
How's he
I
feeling,
do.
by the way? Remember when he was in trial? He was sick as a dog. He was going to die. He had the wheelchair.
What did
now he's
happen
doing
to Denny
jumping
Hastert?
jacks outside of a third-grade
What
window.
did happen to? He's out of jail, right?
Sure he is. He's partying like it's
I forgot.
1999 in
It's hard-
Boys Town.
George Ryan died, right? Time is
No,
collapsing
he didn't
on itself.
die.
Is George Ryan alive?
Oh, he's
still?
driving Uber for Hassert, the Boys Town.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Boy, I don't know.
Guys-
Dead or alive, dead or Canadian. I don't remember any of these things.
It's a
anymore.
7:45. You've been up since
Oh,
3:30.
no.
You're an old man. Things happen.
Let's take a break right now. Let's pause for station identification. I'll collect my breath right now.
You know what Marcus
recharge
hates
the batteries.
when I
What?
do my show? He hates when I go, we'll be back after these messages. So I like to throw it at him all the time. Go ahead.
What? That's what they used to say on
I remember
TV.
when I
That's-
watched TV,
That's what's
sure.
fun. We want to feel like we're real broadcasters.
Yeah,
If
instead
you
of
can't
Ray
say-
Rayner. Go ahead.
Right. Coming up, Chelveston the Duck mates with Romberg Rabbit. Right here on AM 560, The Answer.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
This is Dr. Howard, founder and formulator of Balance of Nature. We're changing America one life at a time.
I drive Lyft, and every once in a while I just mention this, and I say, I can only speak for me. I can't say how it's going to make somebody else feel, but for me, this has been the single biggest change for me for anything that I've taken. I've tried, smoothie diets and all kinds of stuff, but this really seems to work.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself by using discount code CHICAGO. The price of fruits and vegetables is going up. Call now to see how you can lock in your price of fruits and vegetables for an entire year and get free shipping on every order. Call 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
One of the most frustrating aspects of running a business today is dealing with technology. It's wonderful when it's all working, but what about when it's not? IT, networks, computers, you just want to run your business. And hiring an IT department is out of the question, or is it? For only $7.95 per month, you can eliminate the hassle of IT and computer issues with Turnkey IT. It'll be like having your own in-house IT department, but better. Turnkey IT makes it happen. They make it secure and they make it smart. You'll be set up for success and not have to deal with all the technical issues that can overwhelm a business. Turnkey becomes your IT department. It helps you with all your daily IT issues, plus sets you up with preventive steps to keep your business going. Have Turnkey do a complimentary network audit of your systems, even if you have a current IT company, so you know where you stand with technology. Leave the technical stuff to the pros so you can focus on the important things. Visit turnkey.pro today.
Another school year is about to wrap up, and you need to start thinking about what activities your son or daughter will be involved with during summer break. You want them to have fun this summer, but at the same time have some structure to be prepared for the next school year. Introduce them to St. John's Northwestern Experience in the beautiful Lake Country region of southeast Wisconsin with summer OPS, opportunities for personal success. 5 intensive weeks of learning and training. Young men and women grades 7 to 12 get an opportunity to advance academically in the structured and supportive environment of a military boarding school and at the same time be involved in an exciting summer adventure camp that inspires personal growth through a commitment to excellence in academics, leadership skills, spiritual and character development, and athletics and wellness. Camp St. John's Northwestern for your son or daughter with full boarding or day camp programs. Get more info at 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 1-800-SJ-CADET or online at sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson. Spring is going to be here soon, and it's the perfect time to take notice of any paint issues. Call the professionals at CertaPro Painters right away to take care of your home. Our front porch and back porches were chipping and peeling, just an eyesore. But CertaPro Painters swooped in and made a huge difference. They also painted a majority of our rooms in our house, the quality, service, and attention to detail like no other paint company. You know, spring is the season of change. Time to change your wall color or exterior and transform your home with an updated new look. And if you want some help with colors, they've got you covered with in-home color consultation or online with a color visualizer. Don't put it off. Time to hire CertaPro Painters, your residential and commercial painting expert. Schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming to you from the Maryville Distinct Luxury Residences in Nueva Berta. We're on our Passport to Paradise tour, and we're pleased to be joined by Amy, number one. In addition to her, the White family. Darlene and Cliff White, they are the Passport to Paradise winners from Mokina, where they settled Mokina. Darlene, you were there. You were the first resident of Mokina.
Pretty much so, since 1961.
Yeah.
When you lived there, were there any stoplights?
There were no stoplights, nothing. It was all a farming community.
And it soon will be farming again when everybody leaves.
I don't think so.
So how are you enjoying the trip so far, since this is your first excursion with us?
We love it. It's beautiful here. I highly recommend it.
What is your favorite thing so far?
The drinks.
Sure.
And they are free, so that's good.
Yeah,
you can have plenty of them.
The food is wonderful. The beach is beautiful. Pools are outstanding. Nothing to complain about.
Now, you and Cliff are retirees, so you do a little bit of traveling, and you've been to Mexican resorts before, resorts in Mexico before. And so do a little compare and contrast for us.
I think this is the best one we've been at so far. Some of the other ones were maybe right on the beach. This one's a little bit off the beach, but not bad. I mean, it's a 4 or 5 minute walk.
We still have access to the beach.
Yes, the food is much better and the drinks are much better than the other ones that we've been at. So I would highly recommend this one.
Now, Cliff, you don't listen to the show, which is fine. I mean, you're honest. I love it. But you're going to start
Amy
listening
doesn't sometimes
now?
either.
Every day I'm going to get up and I'm going to say, damn it, I got to listen to that show.
Well said, Cliff. Thank you. Very
My
nicely
name's
done.
Amy, and this is Dan.
Yeah.
Just in case you're wondering who Dan and Amy were.
Yeah, so you recognize the voices.
So how did you win the trip? Did you?
I went online and entered it online.
How'd you find out? Did they surprise you at your door with a bag of balloons?
I actually got an email, and it was like, I almost deleted it, and it was like, oh, wow. It said, wait a minute, you won a trip. And I went, oh, wait, undelete. And then I filled out the forms, and I was the winner.
And here you are.
And you're having a big year. You're turning 70 this year, and it's your 50th
you're not
wedding
supposed
anniversary.
to talk about a woman's age.
I turned 70 2
gosh.
weeks ago, and yes, my husband and I are celebrating our 50th year of wedding anniversary in August.
Congratulations. Dan will never know what that's like. I mean, not to not be married,
I will
but to
never know
celebrate
what it's like to turn 70 or what it's like to be married for 50 years. Yes,
You
correct.
will.
So now, Cliff, retired insurance guy. And what do you like to do in retirement other than not listen to our
I
show?
listen to the show.
Yeah.
I mean, every day I try to do it.
Sure.
I turn it on weekends, but Jesus, you guys aren't on.
Yeah.
You should be on weekends.
We should work on the 7-day format.
Gamble and drink.
Now that I can get behind.
I think you two are going to be great friends.
Yeah.
What kind of gambling? Video?
I like video poker.
Where do you go?
You name it, we've been there. Yeah. We just came back from New Orleans. Biloxi.
And
win big?
No. Do you see these great big beautiful casinos? Not many people win big.
Have either one of you ever been groped by Steve Wynn by any chance?
No.
No, yeah.
No.
You know Steve Wynn can't see, you know.
Yeah, no, I do know.
So,
I do know.
So it's kind of one of these gropings.
Well, that's why, well,
that's groping.
Keep the hands at shoulder height, Steve, and then you won't have any problems. You know, the Biden height there. Yeah.
But I love to. You also served in Vietnam from 1965 to 1968.
I was in the service, yes, I was.
So what did you do in Vietnam?
I was a medic.
And you're lucky you came back. We're taking a serious tone.
Oh my gosh, boy! You know, there's nothing that cracks Amy up like the Vietnam War.
Oh yeah, it's hilarious.
No, come on. No, I'm thanking him for his service.
Yeah. Thank you for getting that out in between guffaws.
Knowing what you've been through in Vietnam, what did you think of the flight down here? Were you concerned at all?
No, I wasn't concerned at all until I tossed Coke all over my wife.
Yeah.
I was very concerned. I really thought this was going to be our last flight.
I'm glad we went first class. Frontier is what I want to fly every year.
That's a ringing endorsement of Frontier. But I mean, look, I'll tell you what, Cliff, I appreciate you indulging the comparisons to our flight to Nueva Vallarta to you doing emergency evacs in Vietnam. I understand why you don't listen to the show now. You know what? Don't worry about it. Don't worry. We appreciate it.
You got a pass for life. You're okay.
Thank you, Scott.
Oh. All right. Those are our trip winners. No, seriously. The Whites, thank you so much for joining us. Great to have you with us. Appreciate it.
Salute.
Dan and Amy coming to you live from the Maribel Distinct Luxury Residences in Nueva Vallarta, Mexico.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
We're here at CreditRepair.com, the most recognized name in the industry when it comes to resolving credit report issues and getting that credit score up. With me, I got Aaron. Aaron, what happens when people call CreditRepair.com?
A lot. Just one call gets any listener a free credit score, free credit report, and a free personalized credit evaluation right over the phone. In just a few minutes, you'll know exactly what's hurting your credit and get a personalized game plan to help restore it.
And that can make a huge difference when it comes to getting those things that we want, like a new car, a new house, or even a brand new job.
Absolutely. Your credit score is one of the first things lenders look at, and our proven process can help remove those unfair or inaccurate items like late payments and collections from your credit report. In fact, on average, people who have used our service have seen significant improvement in their credit scores month after month.
What are you waiting for? Call CreditRepair.com today. Call 800-851-5318. That's 800-851-5318. 800-851-5318.
Gentlemen, are you taking care of your skin? Probably not. Probably not the way you should, which is why I want to introduce you to Tiege Hanley. It's a Chicago company that is doing something about how men think about and treat their skin. I am one of those men who is rethinking what I'm doing about my skin. Started by 4 guys who know how guys think, the company Tiege Hanley. It's simple, affordable, effective. Also, you don't have to shop. Through their subscription service, all the product is delivered directly to your door. No hidden fees or inflated costs. They have 3 skincare systems. Each include their wash, scrub, and moisturizers with SPF 20. Protect your skin when you're active outside, as we're hopefully entering spring sometime soon. So go to Tiege.com/DanProf. Use the promo code Dan20, Dan the number 20, and that gets you 20% off your first box. Tiege.com, TIEGE.com/DanProf. Use the promo code Dan20.
AM 560. The Answer.
All right, you're listening to the Dan and Amy Show, and my name is Sean Thompson. I have the pleasure of filling in with one aged Bruce Wolf. And here's the problem with old people. They run out of energy, and they have to constantly take in some food. So he's actually making a breakfast that he brought, which is the epitome of frugalness in my mind. Let's order breakfast. I don't know, maybe I'm the only old-fashioned that way. But it does give me a moment. I like the eating sound. It does give me a moment to ask you something, Mike Scott, because we have very little time with each other.
We do. But that's on purpose.
What is the legal gambling age in Illinois to play the Illinois lottery? The plethora of games they advertise. You know, the ones they make look like candy and cartoons?
Right.
Scratch away your money. Mm-hmm. What do you think the age is for that?
I assume, although I don't know for sure, the legal age is 18.
18. Yeah. And there is a credible push by not just Illinois Democrats, but Democrats in general to make the voting age 16.
Yep.
Yet J.B. Pritzker wants you to be 21 before you can have a cigar. Do you see the atrocity, the tyranny? And we sit back and just take it. It drives me nuts. But I wanted to have that moment with you, so I made sure he wasn't in. I locked the door. But now we're going to go to you with the news.
Cubs host the Pirates today in the home opener. Weather should be good. WIND Chicago News Time is 8 o'clock.
It is deeply alarming. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what the Democratic Speaker of the House calls the change at Homeland Security after President Trump tweeted Kirstjen Nielsen is out. Nancy Pelosi says the official who put children in cages is not extreme enough for the president. Fox's John Decker is live at the White House.
Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen's abrupt resignation comes as the president continues to fume over continued illegal border crossings. The president tweeting last night Mexico must apprehend all illegals and not let them make the long march up to the United States, or we will have no other choice than to close the border and or institute tariffs. Our country is full. Customs and Border Protection Commissioner Kevin McElneen will now serve as acting DHS secretary. Besides DHS, acting heads are also running the Pentagon and the Interior Department, and the president currently has an acting chief of staff. Dave?
John, the president just tweeted, Uganda must find the kidnappers who took an American tourist and her guide hostage on safari last week before people will feel safe going there. Now, Kim Endicott from California and the guide have been released. Police in Uganda say no ransom was paid, but the tour group says it did hand over money to get them back. The president's ready to crack down even more on Iran.
The administration is preparing to designate Iran's Revolutionary Guard as a foreign terrorist organization. It would be the first such designation by any U.S. administration of an entire foreign government entity, although portions of the Guard have been targeted before.
Fox's Tom Rigotti. The president pulled the U.S. out of the international nuclear deal last year, putting new sanctions on Iran. Boeing is being sued by more victims' families from the first 737 MAX 8 jet crash in Indonesia last year, saying Boeing's CEO's apology last week was an admission. Dennis Mullenberg said Boeing's working on a fix to its anti-stall software to
eliminate the possibility of unintended MCAS activation and prevent an MCAS-related accident from ever happening again.
That system is being investigated in 2 crashes. This is Fox News.
Fair skies. In Chicago, we have 53 degrees at 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer, and good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Police in Batavia responded to an unconfirmed report of a male with a rifle entering Batavia High School around 6:15 this morning. Officers remain on the scene investigating, but have not confirmed there was an actual gunman or a person. Batavia police say units on the scene responded to a community alert and then posted on the city's website around 6:30 that they were responding. Due to police activity at Batavia High School, no one is being allowed into the building at this point. All buses are not operating to Batavia High School. If your child has been picked up by the bus, they will be returned home. As far as we know, according to Batavia school officials, all other schools are in session with bus service for the moment. Cubs take on the Pirates today at Wrigley Field in the home opener. Weather should be good for John Lester as he takes the hill. No one in custody following a mass shooting over the weekend that wounded 2 children and 4 adults on the south side. The victims were shot Saturday night during a baby shower near 63rd and Sealy, part of a violent weekend where 4 were killed. Chicago police are continuing their investigation after a man tried to lure a 14-year-old girl into a van last week on the northwest side. It happened in the 4200 block of North Kimball Avenue. Brewers beat the Cubs 4-2. Mariners cruise past the White Sox 12-5 at Guaranteed Rate Field. Sox host the Rays later today. 8:03, time for the AM 560 Business Beat. And from the Fox Business Network, here's Jenny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, Nissan has removed former chairman Carlos Ghosn from its board, cutting ties with its longtime leader. Renault's new chairman, Jean-Dominique Senard, has been named to take over Nissan. The shareholder meeting was disrupted by demands that other Nissan executives step down for failing to monitor what was happening at the company. There were hecklers on the floor of the meeting, which was attended by a record 4,100 shareholders. Ghosn has denied all the allegations against him. More disappointing news for General Electric. Analysts at J.P. Morgan are expressing concerns about GE. Among other issues, they say business at some units is still weak. GE stock has skidded more than 20% over the past year. Pinterest is getting ready to sell stock to the public. It's beginning its pitch to investors today. It's expected to set a price range for its shares. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Jenny Cosola.
8:04, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Sean Hannity sees the Democrats shift their focus again.
I'm sure there's a sentence, 3-4 sentences. They'll say, well, this raised eyebrows. Remember, in obstruction, you have to prove intent. And it's so funny that obstruction of justice now is the big key obsession of Democrats.
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
Hey, Chicagoland, you deserve to love where you live, so why not make it easy? Don't miss the free Home and Garden Show this weekend only at the Pheasant Run Resort in St. Charles. With free admission and free parking, find the ultimate in savings and convenience with thousands of the latest home products and services for the freshest ideas to remodel, repair, and beautify your home. Inside and out. See the latest products and services and speak with experts in kitchens and baths, windows and siding, landscaping, lawn and tree care, flooring, painting, heating and air, and even solar power and green energy systems. Plus, enjoy live cooking shows, free seminars, and exciting demonstrations. And save big on quality indoor and outdoor furniture and accessories, and so much more. From interiors to exteriors, from decor to outdoor, you'll find it all at the Home and Garden Show this weekend at the Pheasant Run Resort Mega Center off Route 64 in St. Charles with free admission and free parking. For details, visit pheasantrunhomeshow.com. pheasantrunhomeshow.com.
All money managers might seem the same, but while some give their clients cookie-cutter portfolios, Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to your goals and needs. Some only call when they have something to sell. Fisher calls regularly, so you stay informed. And while some advisors are happy to earn commissions whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come from other money managers. So if you're in or nearing retirement, talk with us and find out why investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
It is 8:07. Let's get an update on the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
Inbound Kennedy delays start at Canfield. It's 1 hour from O'Hare to downtown. 34 minutes from Montrose, 31 on the Express. Eisenhower, an hour and 9 minutes, 390 to downtown. 51 minutes from Manheim. Stevenson, an hour, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan is 34 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 23 minutes, 90 to the merge, Bishop Ford 30. Southbound Tri-State delays are from 120 to 176 and 22 to Lake Cook. Northbound Southwest Highway to the Stevenson. Plainfield Road to the Hinsdale Oasis, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Adams Tollway. It's about Reagan Tollway delays after 31, much of the way to Mill, and 355 to before the Tri-State. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center and our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
More clouds than sun. Warm today, high 72. Partly cloudy tonight, low 46. Intervals of clouds and sun. Breezy tomorrow, the high 62. Breezy and cool. Rain Wednesday with a high only 42. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
54 at O'Hare, 57 along the lakefront. Your next news update is at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next with Dan and Amy and listeners in Mexico. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson are in on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by On Target Radio. From firearms and Second Amendment rights to personal freedoms and government intrusions. Listen here Sunday nights at 9.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Ding, 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 ding. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. And I should just quickly mention, apparently Bernie is trying to kowtow to the black audience. He's like into slavery reparations right now. Everybody should have at least
for you, and a check for you. He's doing an Oprah?
No, at least 3 houses like I, the socialist, have. And we should all honeymoon. Is that a pretty good Larry
He's not
David,
a socialist. He's a communist sympathizer.
Oh, there we
the
go.
fact that he isn't
traveler.
he really is.
Hey, Selena Zito.
Love her.
Prolific. She, of course, writes for the Washington Examiner, the New York Post, CNN contributor, author of The Great Revolt, Inside the Populist Coalition, Reshaping American Politics. Selena Zito, thanks
and
for joining us.
she's Italian.
Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
So, there's so many topics. What is the view out there, from the Beltway about us in Chicago? I just heard that, and I'll go with it, it's a rumor, but it was one of our producers said this.
Your whole career is built on a rumor.
Fox does not want to shoot. They had plans to shoot a couple of new series in Chicago, but they don't want any problems shooting in Chicago because of the Jussie Smollett situation. Are we the laughingstock of the United States of America?
Well, I don't live in Washington.
Right, but you write for the Washington Examiner. Okay.
Right, but I live in Pittsburgh, so I think I actually have a better perspective. I think, because I can see both worlds, right? And Pittsburgh is essentially the Midwest, and Chicago is like the crown jewel of the Midwest. And Washington, I fear that fellow reporters who live in Washington and or D.C. or New York really struggle with how to write or view or talk about the Midwest. And so their perception about Chicago is not the same that someone like, say, from Pittsburgh has.
All right.
But having said all that, I think I'd be hard pressed to find any Chicagoan who would say anything different. There's always been chaos among the elected officials. And so I think they're worried more possibly about the chaos within the government as opposed to with the people. Does that make sense?
Well, I mean, I was just talking with specific regard to this whole Jussie Smollett. I mean, it made sense,
right,
but with this Jussie Smollett
handled.
thing, because now it's very interesting. We got Mayor-elect Lori Lightfoot, who is, you must always have it with the epithet, openly gay, African-American, and she's a former prosecutor. She's going up against the African-American female state's attorney. So, you know how somebody once said that it took Nixon to go to China. He was the only one who could do it. It's going to take Lori Lightfoot to eliminate the scourge that is Kim Foxx.
Sure it is.
Right, exactly. And so I think that the concern maybe coming out of Fox is that, the chaos within the elected officials is too much for them. They don't see an end game to that. They think that it's always going to be that way. And I think you're right. I think your mayor-elect may be the only person who would be able to sort of wash away that outsider attitude about Chicago.
Selena, I want to broaden the conversation a little bit. To me, Illinois and Chicago in particular is already, at best, a urinal cake. I think it's over with. It's done with. I want to talk more about the nationally thing, which I think you were one of the few people, if not the only, who completely understood what was happening in 2016 and called it accurately. And here's my concern. I am rejecting the fundamental basis of Trumponomics. However, I am well aware that Bernie Sanders and the fellow travelers that are running as the Democrat nominee are absolute and total socialists, so much so they are even comfortable with describing themselves in the same way the North Koreans do, right? They're democratic socialists. So my question to you is, do you think the old Democrats, those baby boomers who just through legacy voted Democrat because their moms and dads did from World War II, will recognize the fact that the Democrat Party is the new red party of America and support Trump, or do you think we're just going to all be Illinois? What do you think?
No, they're not going to support socialism. And you saw it. You saw hints of a very left attitude coming, not really from Hillary Clinton, but the people around her in 2016. People understood that. Working class Democrats, suburban Democrats, and they voted for Trump, whether they liked his comportment or not. But look, when I just interviewed Mayor Pete last week, and while on tone he's great, but Medicare for all, which is essentially Medicaid for everyone, right? Just Medicare sounds nicer, and he also said about he was going to, you can't take increasing taxes off the table and supporting third trimester abortions and only wanting solar and wind when the energy jobs in the area that I live are booming for working class voters. You're not going to win the suburbs on taxes and on Medicaid for all. You're just not. They may have taken a pause in 2018 and went over to Democrats, but that's because they ran moderate Democrats in congressional districts like the one I live in with Connor Lamb. But, he supports the shale industry. He's not supporting third trimester abortions. And so running candidates like that is not going to win over, and he doesn't support, higher taxes. You're not going to win over the suburban voters who took a pause, and you're not going to win back the working class Democrats who like their well-paying jobs. I mean, it's like the boom of the steel industry right now was in the 70s. Here with shale.
I pray,
and so
I pray you're right, Selena. I really do. I pray. I need you to be right. But what frightens me, to be quite honest with you, is we just saw the exact opposite. We have a Green Deal socialist fraud who's made a fortune off of it by Sean Casten, who won as a congressional race. We have Underwood, who didn't even live here, a pretend nurse, who all she did is preach the very utopian statism that these socialists are spraying, and she won all those suburbs, all those housewives, some of the.
She lives with her parents. I wouldn't elect my children.
That's my fear, Selena. I'm worried my fellow citizen is a socialist without knowing it. That's my fear.
Well, we always flirt with the left and or right wings of our parties. But usually it's a flirtation. We don't end up marrying them. And they become a pause. But, people don't pay attention to politics like we do.
Right. Selena, let me. We don't have that much
time. And it's like, oh, that person looks nice.
Selena, speaking of flirtation, yes. If Joe Biden Eskimo kissed you, would you be insulted by that, or would you say, let us embrace? What would you? I would like just to know from your perspective. Just a personal thing here. If Joe Biden did that.
Well, I had a candidate do that to me. His name was Joe Sestak. He was running for Senate. And I said, hey, don't do that. That's uncool. And that was it. And
come on, Selena, you're Italian from Pittsburgh. Knock somebody out, for God's sake. It's with all the gentle nature here. Come on.
Don't you think, Selena, that it's, they say it's not sexual, and we could argue back and forth on, what's sexual and what's a power trip. I think it's that, first of all, they live in this bubble, these politicians, and it's just the paternalism of a guy like Joe Biden. I mean, he's been in government forever.
So he thinks that he is God's gift to the room. I think Rich Lowry made that point about, egomania. But it's like you're getting the laying of hands by the Savior upon him. You should genuflect to Joe Biden. This. See, that's what really sticks in my craw. It's like, who the hell are you?
In his head, he's
freaking
Roger.
little guy who's filched off the government for your entire life.
In his head, he's Roger from Mad Men because he has circus mirrors in his house. He doesn't understand how we see him. So I believe it's a character flaw, like everyone else in Washington.
But he still thinks it's 1963 if it's a Mad Men.
Schumer thinks he looks
Selena.
smart. Go ahead.
Well, I suspect that former Vice President Joe Biden, this is what he's always done. That doesn't make it right, but it's part of sort of his persona. And I've met people that are not in politics who also think, this is okay. And it's more, as a woman, to me, it's more of an invasion of personal space. It's like that Seinfeld episode of The Close Talker.
Sure.
It's just like, understand there's like an arm's length space that you just don't get into around a person, and that's that. And there are just people who just think like they need to be really close to you, and I don't get that. I don't want to be close to anyone. What if they had a garlic sandwich for breakfast?
Isn't it great that he was the point man, though, for the Obama administration's attack on the campuses, where due process got thrown out the window whenever any guy was accused of anything by a woman. And Biden was uttering these liberal shibboleths regarding you got to believe the woman all the time. But except when it comes to him, because that's the classic liberal hypocrisy, is that I'm exempt from all the rules that I create for everybody else.
Oh, politics is a basket of ironies. I mean, it really is. It is always do what I say, don't do what I'm doing, even if I'm doing it right in front of you. I mean, there's probably literally thousands of photos that will come across. You look at them about Biden, and you're just awkward about it. At this moment, because he hasn't run, despite the fact that he's taking a lot of hits, he's probably the only one that could challenge Trump in the areas where Trump was able to pull off the presidency, and that's Pennsylvania, Ohio, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Iowa.
All right, here's the thing, and I think this is what's going to happen in the debates. Mark my words. You heard it here first, Selena. Okay, I'm just a little Midwestern substitute host. Here's what's going to happen. Biden is going to nail Trump. Donald, wouldn't even call him Mr. President. You lied here, all the lies. And all Trump has to say is, that you lied when your wife tragically died. Your wife tragically died when you were 29 years old. Your wife and daughter died in an automobile accident, which was not the other guy's fault, and he was certainly not drunk. But you ran with the story that the other guy was, and that was political opportunism. I mean, how dare you do that? That's the biggest lie of all. And I think if that comes out and the public gets a whiff of that, I think that sinks him more than this sexual stuff.
Put the other co-host down for 100 on the under. I don't think any of that's going to happen, but go ahead.
Well, here's what I think. I think in a general, Biden is Trump's biggest challenge. I don't think that inappropriate space invader is going to disqualify Biden in a primary, but I do think that he's not left enough for these primary voters and won't get through a primary.
There you go. Selena, thanks so much. Washington Examiner reporter, but not from Washington. Pittsburgh. New York Post columnist, but not from New York. Pittsburgh. CNN contributor and author of The Great Revolt Inside the Populist Coalition, Reshaping American Politics. So you're going to be for Pittsburgh today against the Cubs, who can't win on the road. They got to win today at home. Sorry, Selena. Thank you so much.
Well, wait, we had a sweep.
Oh,
we're hot.
All right.
We had a sweep.
An aristocrat, huh?
Thanks so much, Selena, for joining us. AM 560, The Answer. Bruce and Sean in for Dan and Amy.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
What is certainty? Certainty is the passionate commitment to fulfill every promise. Certainty is 4imprint, a caring, trusted team of promotional product experts, minding every detail to ensure your logo will look perfect on everything from apparel, drinkware to trade show traffic stoppers and hot tech, all delivered on time, every time, with the promise of your satisfaction guaranteed. So, what does certainty bring? Promotional items exceeding expectations, a buzz of excitement for your team and your customers, a pep in your step, a fist pump, a whoop, a tingle, a grin, a laugh, or even one quiet word that no one will ever hear. Yes! Explore thousands of promotional products at 4imprint.com. That's the number 4imprint.com. 4imprint, for certain.
AM 560, The Answer.
Hola, it's Dan and Amy. We're at the Maribel Distinct Luxury Residences in Nuevo Vallarta on our Passport to Paradise tour. And you've been, our trip, tour, feels like a tour. We know that you've been listening to Sean and Bruce fill in for us, so we thought we'd do something more exciting, like talk about tax law with Steve Leahy, the tax attorney.
Steve Leahy.
Steve Leahy, you have a show on our airwaves.
Actually, you have 2 shows.
You have two
get it right.
2 shows. I mean, how many shows can this guy have?
How could you have? I have the Trust Radio Network, where I interview trusted professionals on the show, and then the IRS Radio Hour.
Yeah, so I want to talk about the IRS Radio Hour because we're up against it. We're up against April 15th. Yeah. So give people some tips if they're going to file late, if they've got problems with the IRS.
Well, here's my advice to anybody with the IRS. File your tax return on time.
I don't want to do that. Yeah. So now what's your next piece of advice?
What happens is when people owe money, they think, well, I'll just hold off and I won't file my tax return and I'll wait till I have the money to pay. Wrong. That's the wrong thing to do, because when you owe the IRS money, even if you owe the IRS money, if you file on time, at least you're avoiding that failure to file penalty.
And so you can do an installment plan and so forth.
That's right. So a lot of times people aren't going to, if you're going to owe money, a lot of times you don't need a lawyer. But you can call me and I'll be happy to advise you how to do it, because you only need a lawyer, I think, if you owe more than $20,000. If you're less than $20,000, they have programs in place if you're making money to pay them. And so that's what I use.
It just is shocking to me that people don't file their taxes every year. I couldn't sleep at night.
But enough about Michael Avenatti.
Or the cast and crew of MSNBC.
People are afraid, though. People are afraid. So when they owe the IRS money, they're afraid, and they think if I file my tax return, the IRS will know I owe them money. Well, they're going to know anyway.
How much has the change in the tax law with respect to high tax states like Illinois, where you're capped at state and local deductions at $10,000, how much has that impacted how people are approaching this and thinking about the services you provide?
Whether it really doesn't really have a lot to do with my services, because the people that owe the IRS more money because of the SALT, which is the state and local taxes, right? They generally have money, and if you have money, you're going to pay the IRS. And that's just the way it is. And a lot of people call me and say, well, I'm going to hire a lawyer.
Don't tell that to Wesley Snipes.
Well, he paid.
Well, he paid the hard way.
He had to pay, but he had to go to jail first.
Yes. Yeah. But he did pay, too. And that's what people don't understand, is that if you have assets and money, you're going to pay the IRS. The only question comes in, how am I going to pay them? Because they want you to pay everything last month, and you need a program that you can do it on and without affecting the way you live.
Recently, my accountant died. Sorry.
Once again, bringing the show down a little bit. Yeah.
I didn't want to.
No, and then so now.
So
then he sold his business and gave all our information to a CPA. Yes. But a lot of us don't need a CPA. What's the difference? I mean, besides, I went to H&R Block and the CPA.
Okay, so
it's $500.
Generally, when you hire a CPA, he's not doing your tax return. Right, he has what he calls tax preparers. They're doing your tax returns. As an attorney, I do tax returns, but I have what they call enrolled agents, EAs. They're the highest certified of IRS. They're certified by the IRS, and they prepare tax returns. Same thing with the CPA. They don't do it themselves.
Well, and frankly, if you have a simple return and you don't owe a lot of money, use TurboTax.
Exactly.
I mean, just do it yourself.
And it's free.
Yeah.
For many people, it is free. And I'm not trying to sell people who don't need me. Right? That doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Most people don't need a lawyer to do their tax returns, or even a paid preparer to do their tax returns. Because there's so many programs out there now, like as you mentioned, that are out on the internet that you can do it for free.
So I saw you wandering around the beach before. Were you looking for expats? Were you still hunting for business? You know how you lawyers are. So you handing out cards.
They escape here to Mexico.
Exactly. That's right.
They're trying to hide.
Yeah, you can pick them out too. You have an eye for it. Yeah.
That's right. But they'll get you eventually, because if you come down to Mexico and you leave America, they put a pause on the statute of limitations while you're out of the country. So when you come back to the country, they're still coming after you. So
can't escape.
You can't escape. Now, you've been on many trips and many of these passports to paradise with us. Give us your review of Nueva Vallarta.
Well, I love it. The weather is beautiful. I mean, this is, I don't think it gets much better than this. The room is beautiful.
It's huge.
Huge.
We're going to have a party in my room.
We have a 2-bedroom room. It's beautiful. So just
floor? Are you on the top floor?
No, fourth floor.
That's like the den at his mansion back home.
Exactly. So it's a little step down for me.
You deserve it.
Of course.
I am a tax attorney.
That's right.
Exactly. So I would encourage anybody to come to these trips. I love it.
Steve Leahy, tax attorny.
Woo-hoo.
Give us the 2 shows again and when they air.
It is the IRS Radio Hour on Sunday at 5 o'clock and Trust Radio Network at 10 o'clock on Saturday evening.
How can they reach you?
312-664-6649.
All right, Steve Leahy, inveterate Cubs fan and tax attorney extraordinaire. Dan and Amy, we're coming to you live from Marival Distinct Luxury Residences in Nueva Vallarta, our Passport to Paradise trip.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson. Spring is going to be here soon, and it's the perfect time to take notice of any paint issues. Call the professionals at CertaPro Painters right away to take care of your home. Our front porch and back porches were chipping and peeling, just an eyesore. But CertaPro Painters swooped in and made a huge difference. They also painted a majority of our rooms in our house, the quality, service, and attention to detail like no other paint company. You know, spring is the season of change. Time to change your wall color or exterior and transform your home with an updated new look. And if you want some help with colors, they've got you covered with in-home color consultation or online with a color visualizer. Don't put it off. Time to hire CertaPro Painters, your residential and commercial painting expert. Schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
AM 560, The Answer.
There we are. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy, and coming up after the news. So you got your choice. We could talk about Jim Nantz boycotting the NCAA tonight, I hope, because Michael Avenatti says that Nike paid Zion Williamson money under the table and Duke is investigating.
Boring.
Okay. How about the Cub opener? The Cubs were mathematically eliminated.
Boring.
They were mathematically eliminated before their first home game. There's nothing else to really talk about.
What are you talking about? The Homeland Security.
Yeah.
This is a political show. I hate to wake you up.
Kirsten Nielsen, who made all the rounds last week on Brett Baer's show and everything. It sounded like she was happy and all that, but Trump wanted to dump her. Well, we'll talk about that.
People fleeing the atrocities of Illinois.
And going down south of the border to the 3 countries down there. Maybe they can repopulate those 3 countries. That those 3 countries that Mexico owns, according to a Fox Chiron recently. All right, I'm going down a rabbit hole right now. Grab me out of it right now, and let's go to Mike in the newsroom.
Bruce and Sean, good morning. 54 degrees, and a Chicago area high school remains on lockdown this morning. Police investigating a report early this morning, around 6:15 a.m., of a person with a rifle entering Batavia High School. They say so far, no weapons or a suspect has yet to be found. High school officials posting on their website, students should wait for the all clear before heading to classes. Students who were on buses were taken home, and other schools nearby are remaining open at this time. Current Customs and Border Protection Commissioner Kevin McAlean will serve as the acting Department of Homeland Security Secretary following the resignation of Kirstjen Nielsen. Nielsen served since December of 2017. American Airlines is extending the Boeing MAX-related cancellations through June. Previously, the airline has said it would cancel about 90 flights a day through April 24th. The city of Lubbock, Texas, is condemning students who turn to riots and vandalism to celebrate Texas Tech's Final Four basketball victory over Michigan State. Thousands of students flooded the streets, flipping cars and building bonfires. Police in riot gear eventually fired tear gas to disperse the crowds. Here in Chicago, crowds already surrounding Wrigley Field for the home opener as the Cubs take on the Pirates. Authorities say they're searching for a 16-year-old girl who went missing on Chicago's South Side. Sarah Dawson was last seen April 3rd in the 1100 block of East 47th Street. Two are dead following a fiery crash in South Chicago Heights. Police say a vehicle was traveling when it lost control, slammed into two light poles and then a concrete sign base before bursting into flames. You may have heard us talk about one of the most notorious drunk drivers in the nation. A woman will now spend 1 year in jail connected with a crash in Minnesota. 42-year-old Tasha Schleicher had 5 of her children with her in that April of 2017 crash when she veered into a median barrier. Now, you may recall police in suburban Riverside had arrested the Minnesota woman in April of 2018 after she passed out behind the wheel of a gas station parking lot on South Harlem Avenue. She apparently tried to fill her gas tank with kerosene, not gasoline. She's lost custody now of all 11 of her children. Chicago sports: Brewers double up the Cubs 4-2. Mariners over the White Sox 12-5. The news, a service of Express Services Incorporated. You work hard and you know what it takes to succeed. Now it's time to put your experience to work and launch your business. For a limited time, Express Employment Professionals will give you $25,000 to open your franchise. Get to know Express. Visit expressfranchising.com today. 8:36 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Feeling sore from working out hard, maybe doing some spring cleaning, or do you want to boost your immune system? Well, if either of those are interest you, then you should try Balance of Nature. It is 10 servings of 31 different fruits and veggies, all in a single capsule. No preservatives, no dyes. And you hear the testimonials here on the air all the time, and let me tell you, they are real. Okay, folks? And the price of fruits and veggies is about to go up, but if you call or go online right now, you can lock in your price for the fruits and vegetables for an entire year and get free shipping on every order, but you've got to use the promo code Chicago. Use that when you call, and the number there is 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751, or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
Are you putting your retirement savings in a 401k, IRA, or investment account? Then I have one word of advice. Stop. Experts warn of a stock market crash any day now, and you could lose 50% or more of your hard-earned savings again. But you don't have to lose a penny. There's a better, safer way to save for retirement, and you can learn about it in a free report. This method continues to grow your money even when the market tumbles. To get this free report, go to bankonyourself.com. That's bankonyourself.com. Bankonyourself.com.
Autism One helps children with autism get better. Yes, children with autism get better. Many lose their diagnosis. Join us Wednesday, May 22nd through Sunday, May 26th at the Autism One Conference in Chicago to learn how you can help recover your child. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. will deliver the keynote and will be joined by over 140 of the leading autism doctors, scientists, and researchers from around the world. Learn more at autismone.org autismone.org.
Attention maintenance coordinators. Fans are a vital part of your business's building or factory. You've got to keep the air moving. But when they break down or need service, who can you call? Vans Industrial repair all types of fans, from small wall fans to large air movers.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, president of Vans Industrial. Fan repair is one of many services that Vans offers. If you have a fan with a damaged shaft, bearing, impeller, or housing, we can help. And if you need a new fan, we handle all major brands and can provide engineering assistance to properly size your new fan. Our crews can respond to your emergencies or routine maintenance and will have your fan back up and running fast. And when we're done repairing your fan, we can also dynamically balance it so it runs smooth for years to come.
Vans uses only the best and safest union-trained mechanics, insured at the highest level, to perform the job right. Call 833-VANS-IND to get your fan repaired today. That's 833-VANS-IND. Or on the web at vansindustrial.com.
.39 and a check on the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
In Batavia, Main Street is closed between Mooseheart and Ellen. At Batavia High School, there's an active police presence and situation there. Everyone is urged to avoid the area. Kennedy inbound. Delays start at Harlem. 58 minutes O'Hare to downtown. 36 from Montrose. 40 in the Express. Edens runs 21 minutes Lake Cook to the Kennedy. Eisenhower, an hour and 3 minutes, 390 to downtown, 45 minutes from Manheim. Stevenson, an hour and 8 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. The ride is 40 minutes, 95 to downtown. Southbound Tri-State delays are 120 to Bradley and 60 to Lake Cook, and then Lawrence to the Bensonville Bridge. Northbound are scattered delays Southwest Highway to the Adams Tollway. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1 hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center, a warm day ahead. More clouds than sun, high 72, currently 54. Next news coming up at 9. With Dan and Amy and listeners in Mexico, Chicago's Morning Answer continues next with Bruce and Sean on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Alpha Wealth Group, bringing the trilogy of estate, tax, and investment planning together. Visit alphawealthgroup.com for a free report.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer.
No, not you. Not you. Your organization's terrible.
On AM 560.
You are fake news.
The Answer.
Ruthie Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. And
you're running on
you.
fumes, old man.
I am. Holly, formerly from Hudson, tweeted to me, how about you finally talk about the Adam Schiff story you've been teasing all morning? Holly, for you, another delayed request here on AM 560, The Answer. Yeah, Adam Schiff was on one of those fungible Sunday morning talk shows yesterday, and I don't want to play the whole soundbite.
No, he's not
can't
worth
listen
it.
to him, but let's listen a little.
You've been clear, and you've been criticized a great deal for saying that you still see, quote, evidence of collusion.
Jake Tapper.
Even though, according to Attorney General Barr, the Mueller report says, quote, the investigation did not establish that members of the Trump campaign conspired or coordinated with the Russian government in its election interference activities, unquote.
Let's hear Schiff.
So are you saying that Mueller got it wrong?
No, and what I've said on your show and others, Jake, for over a year now is that, yes, there's ample evidence of collusion in plain sight, but that is not the same thing as proof of a criminal conspiracy beyond a reasonable doubt. And that I would defer to Bob Mueller's judgment, and I do.
Must be a
But
lawyer.
I think what we're talking about here is the difference between conduct that rises to the level of criminality and conduct that is deeply unethical.
Oh, he's the Cody Parkey of congressmen. He wants to move the goalposts here. They promised us collusion. They promised us indictments. You know this Eric Swalwell? You ever see him on Fox all the time? He somehow thinks he's going to proselytize
Does he have a
Fox
neck?
viewers. Eric Swalwell, nice-looking young guy and everything like that, but he is ridiculous. He slanders Trump. He says that Trump was an agent of the Russian government. Now, the common, ordinary definition of agent means, you're like working for...
They're misplaying that card, by the way.
You're working for the other side. You're working for the KGB. No, agent can mean anything. So they're really sloppy with their language. Now, all of a sudden, collusion isn't what we thought it was, and they're backing off. They're just basing... Now they actually are trying to say that Barr is hiding something. He's not hiding anything. The whole report is going to come out.
It shows that the Mueller report is a public-financed campaign document that each party will use to run on, that there is nothing truly there. And the other thing it shows you is that a morphodite, like Adam Schiff, he's the head of the Intelligence Committee. Not because he has intelligence, but because he bought it from the DNC. You do realize
were
that.
the morphodites the people that came out of the ground in, or those were the
They're the people
those
that
were
are
the Eloys.
They're
I
the
think,
people that are in Washington,
in that science fiction movie,
laughing at
Yes.
us when they pretend to represent us.
The Time Machine was the movie. I think the morphodites.
When they're more interested in ruling us, and this is the real problem: is that we have become accepting of this kind of failure.
Do you know who Joseph Mifsud is? Have you ever heard of his name?
Sounds like a butcher.
Okay, or this. I think it's Stefan Harper. I'm not getting the wrong Harper. Bryce Harper, whatever. There's this whole other side to the deal that the government was weaponized. The FBI was weaponized. Well, you know about the FISA warrant, and there were plants from the Obama administration in the Trump campaign. They didn't warn the Trump campaign about, Papadopoulos, supposedly, who was not dangerous at all. And so now all this, and Devin Nunes is the real hero of this story.
In the same way that Dick Durbin for decades has been weaponizing the IRS. Do you remember the IRS scandal under Obama?
Remember when John Koskinen, the head of the IRS, didn't go to jail for destroying evidence, allegedly?
How about that handsome devil? Before transgendering was popular, she was confusing
Lois
me.
Lerner.
Bingo. What about her? Right? She did whatever she wanted. An apparatchik of the Democrat socialist agenda.
I'll take faux transgenders for 1,000, Alex, that I knew that you were talking about Lois Lerner.
As the head of the IRS. And now today, they're threatening to do the exact same thing.
Nobody got punished.
The problem is these bureaucracies have a political agenda. It's like the street department in Chicago. They'll do what they're told to protect and keep their jobs. That's the problem with our government, because we've allowed them to transition from representatives to rulers. That's our fault.
Sean, totally apropos of nothing, I just saw this story the other day, yesterday in fact, that people with blue eyes, and I have blue eyes. You have blue eyes too, don't you?
Mine are just charming.
Okay, here's the thing. We have a common ancestor from 6,000 to 10,000 years
You're
ago.
not getting a gift. It's about a gift, isn't it?
I was thinking, the guy didn't leave me any money from 6,000 to 10,000 years ago, but we apparently have a common ancestor.
Well, I'm Norwegian. We conquered everything, brother. We're the first ones to get sick of our own women and decide to go all around the world. So maybe it's true. History revision with John from Elmwood Park. Why not?
You know what? You should do a TV show. I think we're brainstorming here.
Let's do it.
Forget about drunk history, which is on Comedy Central. We're going to do sober history with Sean.
I love it.
Where everything turns basically into man's desire to conquest women.
That's what the world really runs on.
It's all about men trying to conquest women.
It's the truth. What do you want to achieve for at a certain level? You want to pick up young chicks. It's all about women.
Well, you know what?
Even Lightfoot.
The whole thing.
I think she wants to be mayor for.
The whole thing about the Vietnam War, when everybody was protesting and manning the ramparts and everything during the 60s, as Elliot Gould said in that movie, the name of which I forget, but I'm glad I can remember his name, all we were protesting was, we wanted to get laid. That was the whole thing.
I mean, look at you.
That was the whole
you
thing.
were trying to find a Goya dumb enough to say, let's go, little guy. That's what you were looking for. You didn't care about the war.
Oh, like they were protesting the war. As soon as the draft ended, the protests vanished. They didn't care about the Vietnamese.
That brings me to something.
Yeah.
Just my ADD can kick in now.
Sure.
Where's Antifa protesting the fascism of J.B. Pritzker making the tobacco law 21? Where's Antifa? I thought they were anti-fascists.
I don't think that, making people get the right to get lung cancer is something that Antifa would be fighting
maybe
for.
Your weak gene family got it from tobacco. Not mine. We all smoked. Nobody died of lung cancer.
Vince from the Northwest Side. Hi.
Good morning. Thanks for being informative and entertaining all at the same time.
Thank you.
I'm wondering if we should talk about Dan and Amy going to a Mexico resort instead of a U.S.-possessed island.
I'm worried there's going to be a tariff on when they come back. Are we going to tariff talk show hosts?
Thank you so much for that call. I mean, Trump is trying to establish a border here. Was it anti-American to go to Mexico?
You don't understand. I am so pro the ideals of immigration and so pro America that I love it when people who live in these third world corrupt gutters like Mexico say, I can't live here. Can you imagine? Seriously, what if you were
can I interrupt
Bruce
you for a second?
Gomez? You try to get here.
Justin, next time can you play a little Solito Lindo for me? I mean, I'm getting tired of the Mexican hat dance. So
how about the Cubans, a little Buena Vista Social Club? Let's really pay homage to Americanism.
All right. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson, let's take a break now. Let's pause for station identification.
Tired, aren't you, you old
This
son of a
is
gun.
Salem, no relation to the cigarettes. Salem.
Or the witches.
It's Salem, the broadcasting company. AM 560, The Answer.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Oh, wow.
It can't be.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Oh, where have you been? If you snore, the first time you use mute can be quite an experience.
I can breathe. I can breathe.
Snoring can happen when your nose is blocked, forcing you to breathe through your mouth. Mute is a comfortable nasal breathing device designed to increase airflow through the nose by gently opening the airways. Thanks to Mute, you get all the air you need through your nose and not your mouth, which means less snoring and more chance of sleep.
Oh, that's the best night I've had in years.
In trials, 75% of couples reported a reduction in snoring when using Mute. Available at Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, and other fine stores. To find your local store or for more information, go to mutesnoring.com. Mute. Breathe more, snore less, sleep better.
Before you buy a new expensive mattress, I urge you to consider
You bought a new expensive
My
mattress.
Pillow mattress topper. It's a lot less expensive, Sean, and will totally revitalize your mattress. I believe Amy has one, and frankly,
Sure.
She doesn't know if she loves My Pillow or the My Pillow mattress topper more. That's the big conundrum in her existence. It's that good, and you'll get the best sleep of your life. Order now and get 30% off plus 2 free standard My Pillows. The exclusive 3-layer design includes My Pillow foam for support, transitional foam to help relieve pressure points, and an ultra-soft patented temperature-regulating cover that's washable and dryable. Plus, Mike Lindell's 60-day money-back guarantee. You'll get the total body support you need, sleep better, and save a lot of money. Save 30% on your My Pillow mattress topper when you use promo code AMY. Plus, you'll receive 2 standard My Pillows absolutely free. So visit mypillow.com or call 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201. Promo code AMY.
For more than 50 years, Mueller CPA, a certified public accounting and business advisory firm, has been serving clients in Chicagoland. Dave Nissen, Mueller's managing partner, is here to explain Mueller CPA's history, journey, and opportunity.
Thanks, Dan. Our firm was started by Al Mueller as a one-person CPA firm in 1968. Through growth and partnerships, Mueller CPA has blossomed from a regional firm to an organization that provides services worldwide. Mueller is a reflection of our years of listening and caring for our clients, and we would not be here today if it wasn't for our professionals and support personnel. We value the human side of our business and recognize it as being the most important element of our success. We are growing, we are hiring, and we welcome your interest in our firm.
If you are looking for your first opportunity or your forever career, join an award-winning team that cares about you. Visit the career page at MuellerCPA.com or call Dave directly at 630-524-5274.
This is Dr. Howard, founder and formulator of Balance of Nature. We're changing America, one life at a time.
I was having a lot of pain in my right hip, and it was causing my leg to be numb below my knee from the hip all the way down. I wasn't getting any sleep. So on top of it, I'm tired, I'm sleep deprived because I'm in pain and I'm not sleeping. So I decided to start taking these things, and the pain is gone virtually. I mean, at 90%, maybe 95%. It was just amazing.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself by using discount code CHICAGO. The price of fruits and vegetables is going up. Call now to see how you can lock in your price of fruits and vegetables for an entire year and get free shipping on every order. Call 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson. Spring is going to be here soon, and it's the perfect time to take notice of any paint issues. Call the professionals at CertaPro Painters right away to take care of your home. Our front porch and back porches were chipping and peeling, just an eyesore. But CertaPro Painters swooped in and made a huge difference. They also painted a majority of our rooms in our house. The quality, service, and attention to detail like no other paint company. You know, spring is the season of change. Time to change your wall color or exterior and transform your home with an updated new look. And if you want some help with colors, they've got you covered with in-home color consultation or online with a color visualizer. Don't put it off. Time to hire CertaPro Painters, your residential and commercial painting expert. Schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
Your Sprinter or light-duty diesel is the lifeblood of your business. You can't afford to have just anyone care for this major piece of equipment. You wouldn't go to an eye doctor to fix your knee, so don't go to any shop to fix your Sprinter, Duramax, Cummins, or Power Stroke vehicle. Go to the experts at Remke's Garage. Remke's Garage doesn't just fix a problem, they find a solution. Remke's goal is to make sure you never lose a dollar of business. That's why owner Joe Remke sits with you and creates a maintenance plan specific to your unique vehicle. Go to Remke'sGarage.com to learn more about their specialization in Sprinter and light-duty diesel vehicles. Their commitment to your business is backed with a complimentary maintenance plan and free 2-year warranty on all parts. They'll even pick up, deliver, and offer you a loaner vehicle free of charge. Go to Remke'sGarage.com to schedule your free maintenance plan consultation.
In today's turbulent times, professionals from a variety of industries are faced with concerns regarding workplace violence and the harm it can cause to its employees. Workplace violence can manifest in any setting and oftentimes might come without warning. The team at P4 Security Solutions can assist your organization in mitigating risks to prevent you and your employees from becoming a victim.
Hi, I'm Lawrence Doria, President and CEO of P4 Security Solutions. As a lifelong Chicagoan and security expert with over 40 years in the industry, I take pride in providing our clients a variety of security offerings to address your risks and concerns. Our security services deliver customized offerings to address threats while maintaining continuity. P4 Security Solutions, your trusted advisor for uncertain times.
Contact P4 Security Solutions when you require active shooter training, workplace violence programs, off-duty police services, security assessments, personal protection, or any other of our security solutions. Visit our website at p4secure.com or call us at 312-502-1702 for immediate response.
AM 560, The Answer.
Did you read what just came over the transom here?
Oh, no, it's not that song. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy, and we've been reporting all morning that Batavia police were responding to a report of an unknown male subject with a rifle entering Batavia High School. They locked down the school. They told kids not to show up. We've been reporting this all morning. Let's go to Mike Scott in the newsroom. Mike, what's the latest on this?
Kane County Sheriffs and Batavia police say they have found a person matching the description of that man entering with what a concerned citizen says was a rifle. It turns out it was a person arriving with a baseball bat. Likely, but we don't know for sure because details are fluid for an early morning practice. This happened around 6:15.
It was a student with a baseball bat for an early morning practice.
Like Robert Redford in The Natural. He had the thunderbolt in the bat.
We got worried about this. Now they're going to be like the boy who cried Bruce Wolf.
I've been
if
praying.
anything actually happens.
I think Batavia and the Kane County Sheriffs handled this correctly, keeping parents away, keeping students safe, and putting the kids on the buses who were on buses back to where they went and doing a thorough investigation. Now the question is, will they reopen the school for later today?
No, they're going to stay home.
They're
going to stay home like Texas Tech has ordered everybody to stay home to watch
Lock
the
up
NCAA tournament tonight.
What about the
That's how important
busybody?
college is. Thanks so much, Mike. Appreciate it.
What about the busybody that called in the thing, all this drama?
Well, you know what?
Miss
But here's the
Cratchit
thing.
from
We're
behind
so
the curtain.
scared
Mind
right
your
now.
business, you old
We're
pig.
so scared right now that anything is going to be active shooter. It's like when I was growing up, we were afraid, literally.
The bomb?
Seriously. Yeah, the bomb.
Yeah.
They told us when the
Put
bomb
your head
comes.
between your knees.
Well, no. Let's go by the radiator because we'll be safer there.
Yeah, you'll be all
Let's
right.
go by there. You're going to be fine. And the Ruskies were going to bomb us. That didn't happen. Of course,
Then they told you about the space landing, huh? About the moon landing?
Again, our top story
Yeah.
today, in addition to this false alarm here,
Where's the gas tank?
is Sean Thompson does not believe we actually landed on the moon. And what was your theory
Where's
again?
the gas tanks to take off from the moon? How'd you get off the
You
moon?
fall off the
You
moon
fall
into
off.
because
Yeah.
the moon.
Okay,
don't you
Flash
understand?
Gordon. Get
the
the
moon,
hell out of here.
The moon is 1/6 the Earth's gravity.
Nixon was a
Okay.
liar. He lied to beat the
He
Russians.
didn't lie about everything. It was 1/6 the Earth's gravity. All you have to do is fall off
Yeah,
the moon,
sure.
and you
Okay.
fall into the
Yeah,
Earth's
I know.
gravitational
Carbon dioxide is a
Anybody
pollutant,
know
and
that.
we landed
Everybody
on the
knows
moon.
that.
I understand now.
Yeah.
Kennedy got shot by Oswald, too. Sure we did. Sure.
No question about it. All right. Very quickly. Oh, we don't have time. Tom, will you call in tomorrow, please, from Naperville? Well, you'll be the first call that we take. We just don't have time to talk about it right now because we have filibustered. We've once again filibustered. Sean has interrupted me interrupting myself this morning.
It was outrageous. We got to tone it down.
Could you stop interrupting me while I am interrupting you?
All right, you're going to wear the same shirt tomorrow? Am I going to win $20 from the kid
It
dinner?
was so warm in here today that even I, who does not have sweat glands, was actually sweating.
Such a woman.
Totally.
Apparently you're transgender at 65. How old are you?
Well, have you seen Paul McCartney? He's like an old lady right now. Everybody turns into an old
Have you
lady.
seen Congress or the Senate? They're all old women.
Mitch
I
McConnell.
can't.
Yeah,
You tell me
yeah.
Dianne Feinstein from Chuck Schumer. What's the
They
difference?
tend to blur into each other. There's no question about it. All right. It was my pleasure to be with you, Sean Thompson. Sean from Elmwood Park, as he was commonly referred to before. Now he's Mr. Thompson. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you
same
tomorrow.
bat time, same bat channel.
They're going to let us in here again?
Let's go to the newsroom now for more false alarms with Mike Scott.
The Chicago area high school scene is being cleared after an investigation and a report of a person with a rifle in Batavia. Cubs hosting the Pirates today in their home opener. Brewers topped the Cubs over the weekend while the Mariners cruised past the White Sox. WIND Chicago News Time is 9 o'clock.
Bring them to justice openly and quickly.